Hello, everybody. Going to be a good one today. Not only are we going to get into this conversation about your favorite comic book movies, and again, this is for DC and Marvel and everything in between, whatever you guys want to talk about. And I know we're going to have a lot of lists of movies here today that we may have a lot of repeating movies. So what I hope to do is you also put in some moments, like favorite moments of your comic book movies. But besides that, pretty big announcement that I'm excited about. I think you're going to all be pretty excited about it. It's pretty big, at least for me anyway. So I will tell you about it in just a second. Enjoy.
Hey, Roaring. Ik hoor een turf in Tom's penis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live, the Schmodown Entertainment Network, and this just in, I've been traded by Robert Meyer Burnett. Nice to have you. Hope you're enjoying your, the hell is today? Friday the 8th. Friday the 8th, everybody. And I'm excited to be here with you. Besides you, I'm excited to be there with this character. There he is.
Focus.
Yeah, how was your show yesterday?
It was good.
It was good?
Good show, yeah.
I'm bummed.
You were talking about these lists and stuff like that, and I kind of gave somebody a little shit because they said, my favorite franchise, blah, 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 and listed 100 franchises. I go, I don't think you're quite sure what the word favorite means.
Right. Favorite. Well, yeah,
you can have one favorite.
You have one favorite. Well, here, this is what we're going to do with today. You can obviously put in a list. We're going to go do the same thing that we've been doing. The Schmobot will be on, so I know a lot of people like to have their movies read out by the Schmobot, and then we can discuss through there, which will be fun. I think it's a lot of fun. Let's do that today for sure. But when you're doing it, when you're putting your list out there, just know that a lot of people are probably going to have a lot of the same movies. So if you start to see the same movies repeated, put in moments from those movies. So example, not only Batman '89, but my favorite is the art museum scene. Can you guys talk about that a little bit? Like those types of things. So put that in there, and let's have a discussion today. It's going to be good. There's some news. There's some news out there, movie news. We watched The Mandalorian, the part 2 of the gallery. And what was the main focus? I don't know what the main focus was. Legacy was the main focus of this thing. So it's so far so good. I think that I want to say the same thing every time I see this, and that is I'm glad that these people are doing Star Wars because of the way that the approach. Even when you listen to Favreau's reasoning behind what he did with IG-11 and the Ugnaught and all
Lawrence
that.
Lee donated $20. Hotel Nerd, I'm calling you out.
It's starting early.
Bring it on. My favorite is Logan.
Oh, we'll get into Logan. Don't you worry about it. It's a good one. So yeah, this series it's really good. And you had the filmmakers and visual effects people there and directors there, and they were talking about what made this thing special, what they're excited about. I loved Pedro Pascal, like them going back and kind of going over how old he was when he saw Return of the Jedi and the moments that it made. What stood out to you about this particular episode that you saw?
I really loved the Taika Waititi, if I said that right. Waititi, when he was talking about his favorite moment with the scene with Yoda cave. And the swamp and and all that, and that line, he says, I don't believe it. He says, I don't believe it.
Tim Sim donated $20. The Schmodown hot stove is ignited and blazing. Shit. Expecting more signings and trades this weekend. I'm just waiting for someone to pull the trigger and get Molly Damon. Also, simple answer. Nolan's The Dark Knight, and it's everyone's favorite, right?
Yeah, we're going to get into that.
It's a good
sure.
one.
And not only will we get into that, Tim Sim, because Dark Knight obviously is going to be talked about. That's one of the ones that I would suggest when you're putting in the Schmobots and you mention Dark Knight again, you put in a scene, like the bank scene or something like that. So we'll get into it, and we'll definitely get into the big news that happened with all the Schmodown stuff because there was a ton of it. Brandon Hanna, bye-bye.
Oh, man.
Did you hear all the news that happened?
No, I heard there was stuff going on, but
your girl Kate traded Brandon Hanna away to the.
She didn't console.
No, she didn't console you. So you're lucky you didn't get traded. I was wondering if you were going to get traded, but Brandon Hanna gone to for James White.
I did see that. Okay.
Yeah, and then the big trade was Sam Levine traded away Jader Paramo and Ken Knapsack and a first-round pick for next year's draft for Ethan Irwin.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So,
I knew that Sabrina was a free agent.
Sabrina's a free agent. She's been approached by a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was talking to a manager this morning who was very adamant about trying to get Sabrina, and they're going to announce we're going to have the free agents on SEN on Monday. And we'll have them make their decisions as far as where they're going to go. So if you've never watched Schmodown before, you want to pick up with this Inner Geekdom tournament because it's going to be a lot of fire. Brandon Hanna was not originally slated to be in it while he was with the Den. That has changed. He will be in it now.
Red 2 donated $20.
Hello.
The more I watch the gallery, The Mandalorian, the more I feel it's a demo reel for these people to take over Star Wars.
Oh, shit.
Filoni, Favreau, Chow, YTD, Howard, Famuyiwa, they just get it. Here's some money, you monkeys.
Oh, thank you. You know what would be great about that, though? If that was the case. If that was the case, and it was like, okay, this is your team.
Yeah.
This is your Star Wars team. Deborah Chow's going to do that series, and then Taika's going to do a movie, and then Rick's going to do another movie, and then he'll direct a few episodes of the series, and this is just your creative team. And Favreau and Filoni will oversee all of it.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Sign me up. Every movie you want to do.
Here, take my money.
And then Kathleen Kennedy says, "Who do you need? What do you need? How do I help you?"
Yeah,
that should be the role of the producer. Not, well, you should do this. Maybe you should do. No. How do I help you? You're making good stuff. We did very well. The Mandalorian's crushing. People seem to like it. What do you need? And that's what I think. I think at least we're gonna get that for Mandalorian season 2. So it's pretty great. I want to make my announcement here early for you guys. Because I'm pretty stoked about
Hotel
this.
Nerd donated $20. Half did episode 14 of the Hotel Nerd podcast, and we actually had people in the chat for the first time.
Nice.
Loved getting the chat involved in the conversations that we had. Had a nice unforeseen Harry Potter segment where we had different views on Azkaban.
That's nice. Thank you, Hotel Nerd, for sharing that. You're him and Lawrence Lease getting into it already.
There were some arguments about the Harry Potters, and there were people that weren't. Ben wasn't impressed with them. He read the books and said he just didn't think that
a little snooty.
Yeah, he got a little snooty about
it. Ben tends to do that. A little snooty.
And I didn't realize that people thought 1 and 2 were just childish and boring.
I like 1 and 2.
Yeah, I love the whole thing.
I think it's a snooty. Snootsies.
I'm a childish person.
I like 1 and 2. 3 is my favorite, but I like 1 and 2. Yeah. All right, let me get it as long as there's not. I'm going to turn off the Schmobot for a second.
Make your announcement on your shot. I'm going to go turn the AC on.
All right. Okay, listen. So the Schmobot is off right now because I want to make this announcement, and I hope you guys are excited about it because I'm pretty excited about it. It was one of the things that people have been asking me about, and I just wanted to find the right time to do it. And it's not necessarily going to be something that I can do all of the time, but when the moment presents itself, I'm going to do it, and the moment has presented itself. So I know that you guys have been asking. One-on-One with Christian Harloff was a show that I really liked doing. I loved it. I got some really cool interviews. I had talked to a bunch of people that I had never talked to before, and had some people kind of come in, and we had just sitting on the couch and having good conversations about it. And then that eventually kind of evolved into Collider Live. So someone reached out to me the other day, and I had kind of inquired about talking to them at one point, and he was like, "Hey, I missed his DM, so let's do this." So I said, "All right, let's do it." So we set it up, and gonna do a one-on-one, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna record it today. I'm hopefully be able to get it out later on today. If not, maybe tomorrow. My first one-on-one that is going to be coming back will be. Oh, not with you. How did that happen? That's not.
All of those people?
Son of a bitch! I know what happened. It got replaced. I'll have to do it again.
It's a lot of interviews.
No, that's not what's. I have to show the picture because the picture I'm very excited about. Son of a bitch.
Huge.
No, I know what happened.
Joaquin Phoenix, Christian.
No,
this is a
here it is. Everybody.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. My first interview will be one-on-one with director Josh Trank.
There you go.
He's coming on. We're going to talk. We're going to talk for about an hour. And it's going to be a good conversation. We're going to have a good conversation. Like I said, we talked a couple years ago, and I have a big respect for him. He's got a respect for me. So, he told me, he's like, man, I wish I would have seen this DM. I would have given you one of those exclusive interviews up top. I said, don't worry about it, man. It's cool. I just want to sit down and talk with you. And so he and I have been chatting, and I got a link to Capone. I'm going to watch Capone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Capone today, and then we're going to chat a little later. So my goal is to get the interview up today. But it's one of those things where I'm going to record it. I'm going to let the publicist and let Josh listen to it, and if there's anything that they don't want or they want in there. So we might have to make cuts. If we don't have to make cuts, it'll be up sooner. So that's usually how all the one-on-ones worked, is the publicist would listen and say, can you maybe not say that or have that in there? And I have no problem doing that. So I'm going to record it today. Most likely to be up later on tonight. Most likely, I would say, look for tomorrow. As far as where you can find it on audio, we're just going to put it up on this feed. So it'll be like a special edition of SEN. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty excited about it. So there's a lot of stuff that I will be talking to him about, obviously. I'm going to ask him about Capone for sure. I'm going to talk to him. I'll ask him about Fantastic Four, but I want to get an angle, that we haven't heard from already. Maybe other stories that we haven't heard from. Star Wars in general. How much of a fan is he? What's he been? Has he had any? Would he like to do it again? Or there are other things that he wants to do. What else is he working on? How's quarantine treating him? All that kind of shit. So, once again, myself and Josh Trank will be talking, and it's one-on-one with Christian Harloff. I'm going to be doing these interviews, and I'll probably be having people in our space doing it also, but I want to try to reach out. I reached out to another pretty big guest, and it's a possibility, but I don't know if it's necessarily something that I can announce yet. But there's
cheesy tease.
I'm making some moves here, buddy. Making some moves. So anyway, once again, one-on-one with myself. Christian Harloff comes back at least today. At least a special episode today with director Josh Trank. Thank you to Brian Ward for the new graphic. Yeah. It's a new logo, new graphic, and myself and director Josh Trank today or tomorrow on one-on-one with Christian Harloff. Okay, pretty excited about it. So, all right, everybody, let us now. The Schmobot is back on. So.
We're back.
We're back. I want to hit you up here with some of this news, because there wasn't a lot of news this morning, because that's why one of the reasons I wanted to get into the discussion with the peeps, because we haven't really talked about. I mean, we mentioned comic book movies, but I also was thinking greatest Star Wars movies and the greatest Marvel movies. But I don't want to leave all the other comic book movies out. So let's have an overall comic book discussion.
Peanut Buttering is donated $20.
Thank you.
One of the best underappreciated comic book movies is Mask with Jim Carrey.
It's true.
It's vintage Jim Carrey and was at his slapstick peak.
I don't think enough people talk about that movie as a comic book movie because they don't realize it is a comic book movie.
I'm sure there's a lot that I don't realize too, right?
There's a lot you don't know.
I mean,
Hotel Nerd donated $20.
Thank you.
Thing is, even with the disagreement on Azkaban, it was constructive and not one of those "this sucks" and leave conversations. Nice, long, constructive conversations are the best. Can't wait to do more. Also, Open Invite has said yesterday for you all to be on HNP.
Well, thank you so much, Hotel Nerd. I appreciate that. This is, what's pretty cool though, Brett. What I also noticed, Patton Oswalt. I love everything. This is following the success of the first Goonies themed episode that Josh Gad had. He actually announced, why does it say Patton Oswalt, I love everything in there? I don't understand.
Is that going to be the name of the show?
I don't know, but following the success of the Goonies themed episode, Josh Gad has announced that the second episode of his new web series, Reunited Apart, has been set for May 11th, and it's going to be a reunion of, get ready for it, Gilmore, Back to the Future.
Oh,
Leah
nice.
Thompson is confirmed, while other guests are being kept a secret for now. Speaking of one-on-one, that was maybe one of my favorite one-on-ones that I did when I had Leah Thompson.
Oh, she's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You worked with her on Acme. She's a sweetheart, man. Then I got a chance. I ran into her again at the Irishman premiere afterwards, and we talked for it had to be at least 20 minutes. And it was me, her, and Dagnino. And I was so worried Dagnino was going to say something stupid, but he didn't. He was. I mean, he was talking to her and a friend, and I can't remember. He was being Dagnino. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But she's just cool. She just goes with it. So I'm excited to see that, and wonder who they're going to get back. I bet you they get Christopher Lloyd, and I bet you they get everybody. Minus Crispin Glover. I don't think he'll get Crispin Glover.
Oh, really?
Nah, I don't think Crispin Glover. I mean, he's another one I got a chance to interview at Collider Live. He's a very, very interesting dude. Interesting dude.
He seemed interesting for most of his career.
He's an interesting dude. I had a good time talking to him. He wasn't difficult when I was speaking to him.
You think he's over it? You think he just really doesn't want to?
From his perspective, he got fucked on that movie. And he still holds a big grudge to it. And he talked about it when he was on with us. He's not happy with everything that went down. I think he had a very strained relationship with Richard Donner for a while. Not Richard Donner, Zemeckis for a while, and then that I think he told me that's kind of been patched up recently. But I don't know. Maybe he gets Christopher Lloyd. I bet he gets Michael J. Fox. He'll get Biff. So it would be great if he randomly gets like Billy Zane, who doesn't even have a line in the movie, but he's in it. You know, Billy Zane's in the movie. He's one of Biff's thugs.
Oh God,
yeah, Casey Shamasco would be good too. So that'd be fun. That'd be fun to do. I'm down.
Why did most of those articles start with Patton Oswalt? I love everything.
I don't know what that was.
Weird.
I don't know. It was really strange. It was weird. I don't know why it was. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. You know what it was? I see what it was. I see why it started with the May 19th, because they just is a typo. Because they have Patton Oswalt here, and then this is the actual. Oh wait, no, they messed up. Wait, that one too? I don't understand. Here it is. Here it is. Patton Oswalt, I Love Everything. They just titled it twice by accident. Netflix has a May 19th premiere date and released a trailer for the new comedy special I Love Everything from Emmy and Grammy winner Patton Oswalt. Yeah, it was just they just titled it wrong for their little tidbits that they have. People are allowed to do that.
I'd love a Patton Oswalt comedy special.
I started watching the Seinfeld one last night. It's okay. Did you watch any of it?
Is it his new?
This new Netflix special. It's clever. It's definitely. I mean, it's clever.
I saw
it wasn't like Belly
Cars Getting Coffee one.
No. It's an actual. This is actual.
Stand up.
It's an actual special that he did. Yeah, and it's like, and he's like, he's screaming.
Yeah,
he likes to scream. He's like, wait, why are you here? And he starts talking about Pop-Tarts. It's pretty funny though. And he's just like, no one knows what they are. Put them in a toaster. Just screaming. Come on. Why are you here? I mean, this is supposed to be, we're all doing nothing. We're doing nothing. You think you're doing something. In reality, you're doing nothing. Man. Yeah, Crispin did want more money, but there was other things, too, inside of that deal. So go and watch it. It's on right now.
Oh, Dane.
Come on. It did bug me. Don DeMarco says it bugged me that they changed the actresses for Jennifer, but looking at Elizabeth Shue, I got over it. Yeah, I think everybody did. Plus, she's a really good actress, but I think that was another thing. That was a different reason why they canceled it out. Yeah, I thought it was just okay. Anything else that we need to talk about in the news that's worth a damn talking about? I don't know. Pete Davidson has this new trailer for King of Staten Island. I haven't had a chance to see it yet. A lot of people have been tweeting it at me and saying it's pretty damn good, so I guess I have to check that out. National Treasure is apparently getting a Disney Plus series. Does that mean that Nicolas Cage will be in it?
He'll be too busy doing the Tiger King.
I guess so, but let's see. I mean, you never know with that guy. So Collider spoke with Jerry Bruckheimer, who says, we're working on National Treasure for streaming, and we're working on one for the big screen. Hopefully, they'll both come together and we'll bring you another National Treasure, but they're very active. The one for Disney Plus is a much younger cast. It's the same concept, but a young cast. The one for theatrical would be the same cast. I see. Yeah, makes sense. Going back, Warner. Oh, what did it say? Warner's they're going to set Tenet released this week. I thought they were going to release it this week. I was like, what? Christopher Nolan has long championed shooting on film and showcasing those movies in cinemas when many others have moved to shooting on digital and releasing movies VOD. As a result, here's the pinup for exhibitors and his new film Tenet, which is holding steadfast.
Dalton donated $20.
Okay.
Hey, Raring.
Yes?
Just wanted to say happy day on its 75th anniversary. We may be dealing with a global pandemic in 2020, but nice to remember we finally beat those Nazi bastards 75 years ago.
Oh, shit.
Stay safe, shitwads.
You too, Dig. Very nice of you to remember that. And yes, that's right. We'd all be in a very different world today had that not happened. So thank you, my friend, for bringing that up. Appreciate it. Forget that it's May. I don't remember what month it is anymore.
It's, again, when you said, what day is it? And
I was like, I thought last night was Friday night.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't have to do a show until Monday, so I can prep. I can do some stuff. I was like, wait a minute, tomorrow's Friday. I got to prep.
The only reason I know it's Friday is because I'm the episode for the Clayton Make a Show.
The trailer was funny. The new trailer was funny. You guys are missing out if you don't. There's two things you're missing out on. The first is this bad boy. Oh, yep, there it is.
Oh, that.
This
Hostile
is it.
Dork donated $20.
Hostile Dork. I like Hostile Dork.
What about getting Hotel Nerd on one-on-one?
Oh, well, I gotta work on a list first to a couple people that people are familiar with at the moment. It's kind of the deal of one-on-one first. But thank you for the wonderful suggestion. This design here, by the way, it's gone after today. That's it. Never going to see it ever again. And you guys had a chance. You still have a chance. The link is in the description. Attack Peter did this special design.
Oh, I thought it was done.
Is it done? I thought we still had a little bit. Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, like when
no.
we were talking about yesterday, it was like.
Was it? Maybe you're right.
It was.
Oh, I would be very sad if that's the case. Maybe
it was midnight.
I thought that we had one more day today, but you know what? You guys might have missed out, and I might have missed out too. Let me double check. Let me see if that's the case, and maybe we can all get sad together. I'll tell you right now. Should we get sad together? I think you're still good.
What?
I think you're still good. Oh wait. Yeah, it's right there. Hold on. It tells you right now how many hours.
Did they extend it?
Yeah, 13 hours. No, this is it. Just today. Today's the last day. Yeah, 13 hours. 13 hours to get this design on. It is the link is in the description, and then it's gone.
I was confused because I think it said like 9 hours, but then it meant.
Yeah, we have one. This is the last.
Maybe they started the countdown yesterday.
Maybe I don't know. Well, either way, you got 13 hours before it's gone, and it was 13 hours yesterday. I don't know. Maybe they moved it. Maybe they moved it up. So you have 13 hours now, and then it's gone. So maybe they wanted to let people finish out Friday.
Yeah,
that probably makes sense. So you have until 10. You have until like.
It seemed odd stopping it on a Thursday.
I think they probably realized that. So at the end of 10 o'clock tonight. You got another 12 hours to get the Zaflirt and Flaus and Crazy Harloff shirt. A bunch of people got it. That's good. I'm excited that you got it. I'm excited to see them at the live events once that happens again. The Warner's Tenet thing. Let's talk about this. So Tenet, which is holding steadfast to planned mid-July release, is being touted as the blockbuster that will kick off the return of audiences to cinemas. I don't know. Of course, that assumes that the world will be in a healthy enough state that people will want to flock to cinemas. I don't know. And that will be plenty of them. There will be plenty of them open at the time. The exhibitors want it. Yeah, of course they do. Nolan wants it. Of course he does. But the studio may be more hesitant. Of course they are. A new report in Variety states that Warner Brothers is currently set to decide the fate of the film's release this week, with the decision coming this far out to allow the studio the necessary time required for a decent marketing campaign. I think the studio is the one who's... I understand Nolan, very much so. He wants to get his movie in theaters, and he's a film connoisseur, and he's a guy that believes in the classic way and wants people to... He made his movie. He loves to put it out in the big IMAX and have people, experience the sound and the stuff that he had required, the way that he shot it. And obviously the exhibitors are like, yeah, we want to make some money on Nolan's movies. Let's put it out. And the studio's just like, I don't know if we do this, because if we put this marketing into this thing and nobody still wants to go to the movies, we're going to lose a lot of money on this fucking thing. So it's a tricky situation. I don't think anybody's going to be ready to go to the movies in July. Yeah, the
flocking is to the theater, I don't think is going to happen. I mean, I can see, like, beaches, I can see why people, because they feel like, oh, you can kind of spread out.
You're sitting right next to somebody, dude.
You know, yeah, it's the indoors things that are going to be tough.
People are disgusting.
Restaurants and the. Like even air, I'm gonna be afraid to fly for. I get sick every time I fly anyway. You know, I mean that's just a petri dish.
Yeah, they're trying to sell you on that too right now. Anyway, AMC, Regal, and other major cinema chains are hoping to have a majority
Peanut of Butter Anus donated $20.
Thank you.
One of the best Batman theatrical releases is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, one of Hamill's best Joker roles.
Still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I need to. I know. It's like 93, I think. AMC, Regal, and other major cinema chains are hoping to have a majority of their cinemas back up and in operation in North America by July. However, it remains difficult to predict if that will be too soon or not, especially in larger cities. It's also why, Lucasfilm and like Anaheim are crossing their fingers because August is right around the corner for Star Wars Celebration, and they still haven't. It's like that tidal wave that is just taking everything out, and it's starting to just move just a little slower. It's still moving. It already wiped out San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah. And
it's just like it's coming towards them, and they're just like, it might stop. It might stop, and they don't know yet. So they haven't heard any cancellation yet on that because it's August. So I don't know if that's going to be canceled. But July theaters, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Cyberpunk 2077. Okay. What else? Trailer. James turns bad in Becky. Kevin James turns bad? What the fuck is that? What is this now? What is Becky? Paul Blart Mall Cop comedian Kevin James embraces his darker side, playing a brutal and racist killer in the horror thriller Becky, which is just released in his first trailer. Story follows rebellious 14-year-old Becky, who played by Lulu Wilson, and she is brought to a weekend getaway at a lake house by her father in an effort to try to reconnect after her mother's death. The trip takes a turn for the worse when a group of convicts on the run, led by Kevin James, suddenly invades the lake house. Becky, not daddy's girl anymore, takes matters into her own hands. All right. Listen.
Is that a picture of him in the...
Yeah, you did not see it?
Yeah.
He looks like a pirate or something.
Yeah.
Where is he? Oh, it's up here. Trying to... he's got like an eye patch.
Pirate, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if Kevin James wants to take a shot and change up, why not? Why not? Let's see if there's anything else to do before we move on.
He does like emotional things, but I don't think have you ever seen him do anything that was like scary? Or
not to this. No, I like when comedians do this. Comedians have a darker side to them in general, so it's good to explore it. Adam Sandler's done it. Jim Carrey's done it. Good that he's doing it. This is amazing news, by the way. Flash Gordon gets a 4K restoration and a re-release. I need to get this. Absolutely.
All that stuff.
I have to get it. Who's releasing it? Is it Fox? I don't know who's releasing this, but who cares? I got to get this. This is awesome. Studio Canal has announced they are re-releasing Flash Gordon remastered in 4K. And this guy designed the artwork. I'm down for that. It's fun. All right, we're going to get into these comic book movies in just a second, because before we do that, I got to, like I mentioned to Brett, yesterday was a big day for the Schmoedown. So today is the cutoff period, 5 p.m. today. All the managers, if they're going to make cuts to their faction, they have to do it today. So if there's someone that they want to cut, they got to do it, or that's your squad for the rest of the year, obviously barring a trade. So that's gonna be, we're gonna find out if anybody gets cut around that time. Then on Monday, free agents that are out there, they're going to be pursued. They've been being pursued already, but they'll be pursued all the way through the weekend. On Monday, I will reach out, or Sunday night, I'll reach out to the free agents and ask them if they've decided who they're going to go with. We're going to, probably what Brett and I will do is do a show from like 10 to 11:30 on Monday, and then 11:30 until 12, we'll have the free agents on.
Jason Payne donated $20. Hey guys, first time donating, but the explanation that Dave Filoni gave in the new galleries was effing amazing and brought me to tears. Love you guys and the show. You two have helped keep all our collective spirits up, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always great to hear Filoni talk Star Wars, man. I love his philosophy, and I think that my brother had wrote me and he said, just listen to him talk. You can tell like what he said. What I loved what he said in this episode was when he was like, yeah, I never thought that Star Wars was mine. Mm-hmm. It isn't. It's not mine. I would have these things, and I'd have these notes, and I'd have these things that I wanted to do. And George was like, no, it's not really what I do that instead. And he's like, I was cool with it because it's his story.
Yeah.
He's like, I get it. It's like, I always said that for me. It's like George Lucas is one of the best storytellers of all time. Terrible dialogue writer. And when it comes to not directing action, but as far as like directing performances, he's just not very good at it. But when he's directing other directors, and he's having like Clone Wars is some great Star Wars stuff, and he was very heavily involved in that. People don't realize that enough, and to hear all the wisdom that Filoni learned from Lucas, you hear it, and I think that's one of the reasons he's so instrumental.
Hotel Nerd donated $20. Would you be open to having an exhibition match with me versus Larry Lease? I have had a bunch of people asking me if it'd be open to it, and I would in a heartbeat. I keep telling them to hit you up and make it known.
No, it's
if you want this lighted up shitwads.
Well, thank you, Hotel. It's hard for me to do right now, man. I have all these exhibition matches that I need to do. Well, that I've already shot, and now we're staying away from the exhibition matches, and we're leaning into the Inner Geekdom tournament, and we're leaning into the Star Wars tournament. And you know, now the league is kind of at 100 miles an hour, so I'm not really going to be doing too many more exhibition matches. And to be completely honest, I got to focus on, you know, when you're running this thing like. To the SEN audience, Hotel Nerd has become somewhat of a legend. But as far as an overall introducing it, we got to also make sure that it's something that everyone knows, and so that's kind of how we have to do that. But speaking of Schmoedown, and like I said, the free agents will come in. They will make their decisions. They will make them live on the air on Monday. And then for example, let's say that somebody is going after Kevin Smith. Right, and if they get him, then they're going to be my favorite people in the world. But let's say they're going after Kevin Smith, and 5 people have gone after Kevin Smith, and I get in touch with Kevin, and I say to Kevin, "Okay, who are you going to go with?" And he goes, "You know, I decided I'm going to go with the Rockstars."
Yeah.
Okay. So let's announce it. So he comes on the show and he announces that he's going with the Rockstars. But Coy and Winston and Dagnino, nobody knew that was going to happen. So now they had this spot in their team that they were going to hold for him. And they're like, shit, so now they have to scramble. So because of that, we're going to give them until like between 1 and 2 p.m. on Monday to fill the spots with free agents. So basically, free agents are going to be able to be signed until around 2 o'clock on Monday. And this trade that went down yesterday, Andrew Guy potentially going to be teamed up with Ethan, or Ethan rejoins his old teammate with Janine the Machine. That could be really fun. I don't know. A lot to go down. They've some power moves that have happened. So they'll be talking. They talked a lot about on Rundown. Rundown, they had special episodes last night. Brad Gilmore and Frank Janish. They talked about it. That's on the channel now. It'll be on podcast form tomorrow. Backstage is going to be slammed next week. I already know that they have on a bunch of managers. Ethan Irwin's going to be on Tuesday. It's going to be a stacked backstage episode. And I would stay informed. Join the Facebook page today, Movie Trivia Schmoedown on Facebook. Get caught up with all the shit that's going to go down today, because you'll probably learn about all the cuts first. I don't know if there'll be more trades. I know that a couple other people were looking at trades, but I don't think we'll see anything as big as what we saw yesterday. I can't imagine. All right, listen. We're going to get into let's get into this topic here. It is time to talk about your favorite comic book movies, okay? So
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. That's up there. So what I need you guys to do now, what's the announcement? Ollie's Variety. Yeah, so it is Al's Variety. Here you go. That's the announcement. Yeah, that's the announcement. Here it is again for you today, one-on-one with me, Christian Harloff, and director Josh Trank, coming back today, one-on-one, and we'll be talking for about an hour, and I'll be having some more things. If that's not a good enough announcement for you, then I don't know what you can do. Go eat a hot dog and watch something else. Can't fucking please anybody. That's the announcement. Fucking A. Hey, here's the announcement, guys. I'm going to juggle firecrackers until my asshole falls off. Yay! Yeah. That's the good one.
That's the announcement.
That's the announcement. Hey, I got The Rock coming in, and he's gonna announce his next 5 movies. That's the announcement. Oh, I just bought Disney. That's the announcement. Okay. I just cured COVID. That's the announcement.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. So Ben Goddard says, "Sorry, ass juggling fireworks is behind the Patreon
Big
wall."
Movie Review donated $20.
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame is my favorite comic book movie ever. It is all I ever wanted in a superhero film. It was also the greatest theater experience I've ever had. That whole portal scene and Cap saying Avengers Assemble still gives me chills till this day.
All right, now I feel like a dick. Al's Variety writes back, he goes, I missed the announcement. That's awesome. I hope Josh Trank spills the tea. That's fantastic. Sorry, Al. Poor Al. It was good, though. Well, anyway. So, hey, what are you going to do?
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks, Big Mo.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Let's get back into this because there's a ton of, you guys have a bunch of stuff coming out here. So a bunch of questions.
Big Mo just mentioned, what is the Avengers?
Yeah, well, I'll read it. I'll read it to him. I'll read Big Mo's when they come out. So everybody's Schmobot, it's back on, and let's talk. Let's start.
Turkey.
Let's talk turkey. 50 Shades of Geek says Pokemon has like 22 movies, and at least more than half of them are awesome. Just saying. I guess that was from yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had.
Ben Reiner donated $20.
Hi
Guys, happy Friday. Top 5 moments 1. Binary Sunset in New Hope 2.
I'm just saying. I guess that was from yesterday.
Game 3. Voldemort's return in Goblet of Fire 4. Painful but Charles' death in Logan 5. No, I Am Your Father. Empire Strikes Back. Can you talk Voldemort return?
What did he say at the end there about Voldemort? I'll reread it. I'll reread it.
Some of those, like, if the punctuation,
the
Schmobot messes it up, and it sounds like,
I always know how
to. What about Voldemort's return in the Avengers?
Yeah. Well, I always know how to. I always know how to start the day where it starts because now it starts here. Bobcat Goldthwait's birthday says today is not Bobcat Goldthwait's birthday. I'm sorry, guys. Christian Alante, my Mount Rushmore of comic book films are Endgame, Infinity War, Dark Knight, and Spider-Verse. It's a good one.
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Other than our personal favorites are Man of Steel, Kingsman, Civil War, and Logan. That's a good one there, Christian. King Nirvana, 24, Dark Knight, Batman, Batman Begins, Spider-Man, 1 and 2, X-Men 2, Days of Future Past, Constantine, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Logan, Superman, Under the Red Hood, Blade, 1 and 2. I got to rewatch Constantine. I was talking to Roka. Do you remember it? No, I was talking to Roka about it, and he's like, I like that movie. And I was like, I remember seeing it and not liking it in the theater. Or not liking it, just not caring as much in the theater. Maybe I got to go back and watch it. It's one of those movies I remember everybody was excited about, but it didn't really do as well as I think everyone wanted it to do. So I don't know. Jeremiah Morris. Hello, all. I'm going to be at work during the show, but I wanted to send you guys something for all the great things you do. Christian, with Ethan Irwin being traded, if him and Guy team up, is this a dream team for you as a promoter? Hashtag Action Army, hashtag The Usual Suspects are back. It's certainly a pretty star-studded team. Talked to Irwin yesterday, and the first thing he said to me is like, hey, wait a minute. Me and Guy are the only two people to ever TKO Merle. And I said, that is true. That is very true. It certainly sets a nice story. It sets a story to see if those two can do anything. But Sam Levine has not made a decision on whether or not that is a team. He could very well put the time machine back together. So I don't know. But that's it's a interesting move on what could happen with those two. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Jeremiah. Tongue Punch Fart Box. Thank you. Definitely in the minority here, but I'm not a fan of the Dark Knight movie as a whole. Ledger's performance was great, though. Yeah, you're probably in the minority, but I have heard people say. I have heard of quite a few people, and I can think of two off the top of my head with Mark Ellis and Clark Wolf, who like Batman Begins better than The Dark Knight. I don't. I like the second one. I like The Dark Knight better. Batman Begins.
I liked them all.
They're both. Yeah. Batman Begins I like very much.
Yeah.
It sets it all up. It's a great movie. There's just something to me. The Dark Knight it's almost like a perfect movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Very much. The music, the way it's shot, the stakes, everything about it. The switch into kind of making it like to play in the realism, and I don't know. It's just one of my favorites. Marshall Weeks, the greatest comic book movie of all time to me is Logan, and I believe Patrick Stewart should have got a supporting actor nomination. I thought he did. He didn't get a nom. I thought he should have also, if he didn't. Blade and Sin City are also some of my favorites. All great ones. And it's funny, you brought up the other day, Brett, when we were talking about comic book movies. I don't know where the conversation stemmed from, but you're like, oh, it was Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And you said, well, that was kind of the one that, because it came out in like 2005, and you're like, that was in an era where it wasn't like it was today. And that's true with MCU. There were a few, comic book movies went in realms. It started with Donner in the 70s. Then it took a big break. You had the Donner movies and the Superman 2 and the Superman 3, Superman 4, I guess, came out in 87, whatever it was. And that was like, at that point, people were exhausted with it. It was a shit movie. They didn't know what they were doing anymore. And then 89 was, of course, Tim Burton's Batman. So that's like, and the hype behind that movie was a big summer blockbuster movie, and the hype was crazy. There were T-shirts everywhere. There was, it was nuts. So that started a new phase, and then obviously they transferred it. Once they saw money, Warner Brothers kind of dropped the ball on it, and they started doing the silly Joel Schumacher versions of it. So it was, it was kind of Batman and Robin, and it looked like that was the end of Batman. Ugh. All of it was kind of messy, but it was really 2000, I think. Well, no, 2000. This is kind of my point I wanted to make. 2000 was people said, well, that's when X-Men came out and started the whole thing.
Yeah,
Blade was also, even though it was rated R, and Blade was a comic book movie that came out that really kicked ass, and that was like 98, and Blade was one of the first ones to come back and say, okay, it wasn't goofy. There were some goofy moments in it, but it took itself seriously. It was pretty hardcore at the time, and it was a pretty kick-ass movie. So the mainstream, though, overall mainstream, was X-Men, and then X-Men 2, and then Spider-Man came out in around 2002, I think, the first one, right? I think so. 2001, 2002, something like that. And then you had Spider-Man 2, which was 2004, and then obviously Tim's story. That's when it's the Fantastic Four movies. That's when a lot of movies started to come out. And then I think that the last Spider-Man 3, which was not a great one, was 2007, I believe. So in that time period, it's like, okay, what's going to happen now? And then Batman comes out. I want to tell you, the Batman Begins, I think, was 2005, right?
Yeah, I think so.
When was Batman Begins?
AJ Daniels donated $20. Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie.
People love that one. I think it was good when it came out. I know. People don't like when
right. I think I looked this up yesterday.
Let me look. I feel like I saw it. Release date. Batman Begins release date was 2005. So then that's when it started. So really, if you look at 2000 with the X-Men, that was the one that started to push it into the forefront, because it was because of that. Then Marvel started to say, okay, well, Batman's out there kicking ass, doing okay again. Spider-Man did pretty damn good. But the last one wasn't really good. Let's start putting some shit into play. They'd wanted to do Iron Man for a while, then Iron Man comes out in 2007, the same time that 2007, 2008.
2008. It
was 2008. Yeah, so 2008, because it was the same time that it was the same time that The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight was the same year, right? I'm pretty sure. Dark Knight release date was also 2008. I remember because that was Ellis and I were reviewing for Current TV at the time, and we reviewed both Iron Man and Dark Knight. When did you see Dark Knight?
I saw it when it came out. Yeah.
Peanut Butter Anus donated $20. Kingsman, The Secret Service is a very good overlooked comic book movie.
Agreed.
I remember watching Schmoes years ago when you had Hamill call on the Thursday before Kingsman was released because he had a small role in the movie.
That was one of my favorite interviews ever, when Mark Hamill called in the Schmoes because of that. I remember Mance hooked that up. Scott Mance hooked that up, and he got us Hamill to call in, and we were able to talk to him about Kingsman, and that's obviously the two big moments were when he did the Joker introduction for us, and then we had deemed Mance the cocaine donkey that day.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was the day.
Don't do that one anymore.
No, not anymore. Tongue Punch Fart Box, thank you for your donation. Marshall Weeks, the greatest. Oh, Logan, you talked about Logan. I think that Logan. I thought Patrick Stewart did get nominated. Crazy. JEOH2. I know there was a lot of consternation over cutting cursing from MTS related programming, but because of the decision, I feel comfortable linking a couple of MTS promos and matches to a student of mine who loves movies and had a rough time lately. So thank you. Look, it is minus Jeff Snyder.
Yeah.
On Backstage. I've also,
Douglas Johnson donated $20.
Thank you, Douglas.
I cried like a little beak when Logan dies in X-23's arms, especially since my dad had just recently died in my arms.
Oh, shit.
Such a great cinematic moment.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's amazing that it's like moments in movies that can take you there right away, right? So yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for sharing that with us, by the way. But yeah, it's a pretty good moment, man. And it's also it reminded me what Logan did there was just like it's like when you were following a certain run in comics when you were a kid or whatever or now, and you're reading it and it's like, well, this is like an offshoot. This is like an alternate timeline of kind of what happens, and just check it out and you start reading. And that's what Logan was. And it's kind of an offshoot, but still connecting into the universe. And it doesn't. You don't have to have seen all the X-Men movies, but if you did, it gives you a couple nods and things that have kind of happened in the past, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, when that happens at the end, it was a good way. It was a good send off, I think, for Hugh Jackman for sure. But going back to JEOH 2, when it comes to the cursing in Schmodown, it's that I want people. I've always said, like, my daughter watches it. My daughter listens to it. My daughter's a fan of it, and she's 8, and I don't want her like that's why there's certain podcasts that I like to listen to, and my daughter will like listen to me, but then if they're cursing up, I'm like, we can't listen to that one. So it's harder, because there's a few like after podcast shows that I listen to, and they curse up a storm, and I don't listen to them as much anymore because it's like I can't. I'm with my kids, and I'm trying to listen to it, and it's like F-bomb on this particular thing. If it's this, fuck it.
Yeah,
this is what we're doing. But when it comes to Schmodown stuff, it's like I'm trying to get, because I've always said my goal is that we can start. There are people out there that love movies so much that they're like, oh, I can do this. I want to do this. And there's some like 8 or 9-year-old girl out there that loves movies, and now when she goes and watches movies, she's paying attention to the director. She's paying attention because the same thing. My daughter, she's like, I want to know the director because they're going to ask me that one day in a Schmodown. Like, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for. So that's why I think the language is important, and we've really been cracking down on it. And that's why I told Snyder, my text to Snyder was, I loved your interview. I absolutely loved it. I think you're a lunatic, and I loved it. But please stop the cursing, because it's not necessary. It was funny, but not necessary. Not for that show. This show, and all day long. Anyway, so going back on over to, by the way, I do have also Suge Knight, who is a not the Suge Knight, but the Suge Knight, our fan. Suge Knight.
Yes.
He has now been doing this podcast, and it's called Let's Get Ready. So Let's Get Ready Schmodown. I listened to it last night. Big fan of this show. So to me, the Schmodown Rundown is like my go-to show that I listen to on Saturdays. It's like our Sports Center. It's like both Frank and Brad.
Big Mo Movie Review donated $20. I think some very underrated comic book movies are Dread and Snowpiercer. People don't really realize that they are comic book films, but they are. By the way, Harloff, I am very excited about your one-on-one show coming back. It was one of my favorite shows.
Thanks, Mo. I'm excited too. I mean, like I said, I also don't want people to think that it's not necessarily that it's going to be like a every week thing. It's going to be like when I get myself a guest and I'm going to be able to sit down for an hour, that I'm going to do them. I wanted to be able to bring it back. And when Josh had kind of reached out, I was like, yeah, man, let's do it for sure. But just real quick on Suge's show. Because the Rundown to me is like Sports Center, and I listen to it and I really enjoy it, and I love it. It's my favorite show that I listen to on the weekends, and it evolved from just being kind of a fan appreciative show to the official show. The Suge show, you get it from this fan's perspective and the analyzation of it, and I want to tell you that all three of them are great. Fares Muthana's on it also, and I think Josh is the third guy. Josh fucking kills me. I'm a big fan of this guy. I like the way he breaks shit down, and he's smart. Like there was a couple, like they didn't know exactly how the tournament, not that the other two aren't smart, but he as far as seeing how the actual show works, we were going over, like they were trying to figure out how the tournament was going to work. He's like, well, the way it could work is that you have 18 people and then there's a play-in. That's exactly how it is. It's a play-in. It's going to be so it's a good show. Check it out. Justin, I'm sorry, Justin. It's Justin Hamilton, and he's in there now. I said Josh. Josh Hamilton, I'm thinking of the baseball player. Justin's in there right now. So check their show out, man. It's good. I won't forget again, Justin, because I'm a big fan of your work. So yeah, because they were like, I don't even think you listen to it. If it is, make it happen. Well, listen, you fuckers. So, all right, let's get into more of these things here because we got a lot to talk about. But check out their show. Check it out. It's called the Let's Get Ready Show, and you can go on the Facebook group. It's over there too. Marshall Weeks is the greatest comic. We said that already. We kept doing that. Tongue Punch the Fart Box again. Brett has an issue with us having multiple favorites. Fine. So here's my 10-page long list. Just kidding. Kick-Ass, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Civil War. I love K.A. and SP so much. It's Kick-Ass and Scott Pilgrim. They're my top 3 favorite movies of all time, period. Those are good choices because I don't think they're going to be like, you don't see it as much as like the ones that you think you're going to see with Avengers and all this other stuff too. Kick-Ass is a great movie. And it's another great Matthew Vaughn movie. Matt Vaughn, who also did both that and Kingsman, and X-Men too. He plays in the comic book world and plays in it very well. So because X-Men First Class is one of my favorites of all time. It's my favorite X-Men movie. And so Kick-Ass is a great movie. I didn't like Kick-Ass 2. I didn't like Kick-Ass 2. He didn't direct that one. But I didn't like Kick-Ass 2 and I didn't like Kingsman 2.
Didn't like or just wasn't as, because Kingsman 2 was fun to me, but
too fucking goofy.
Too goofy?
Like there were goofy moments in the first one. Like absolutely, in the end is completely goofy.
Yeah.
But it was so goofy. And Julianne Moore is one of my favorite actresses of all time. Is in a completely different movie.
Yeah,
she's in an Austin Powers movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
It felt like an Austin Powers movie more so than because there was a good blend of this is serious. No, it's not in the first one. Like there's like this is hardcore action. Holy shit! Look at that church scene. To like this guy's head is spurting out blood. It was a great mix. Yeah. The second one was just an all-out goofy circus. I couldn't stand. And then the stupid stuff with the American branch, and I hated it.
I did like the Elton John thing.
Elton John stuff was good. But even that though, it felt like an Austin Powers movie.
Yeah. I think so. Then if you would have made just a completely different. If it started out that way, I think, and they both were in that tone.
Yeah.
That would have been fun for me, but I don't know. Sure. I had fun. I didn't love it,
which is fine. A lot of people did.
Hoping more from it.
Okay, next one. We're still over here too. Again, you guys want to? The Schmobot is on. If you want to interrupt the show, you can absolutely do that. You go to streamlabs.com/theschmodown, and you can interrupt. If you want to put in one of your movies, put in a moment, and we'll talk about that moment for sure. Lawrence Leese, who also put in a Schmobot. Thank you, Suge Knight. Greatest comic book movie moment that I have taken my son opening night of MCU movies today, and we got to see Endgame together, and all he could talk about was the portal scene. One underrated comic movie was the original Blade. We talked about that. # Bandit Brigade. The portal scene, not only is the portal scene amazing inside, and then they tried to pretty much do the same thing in Rise of Skywalker, which didn't have the same impact, but in Endgame, that portal scene, the reason why it works also is because of Alan Silvestri's score. Have you seen Endgame yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so Endgame at the end when it's, in Captain America, Thor's off to the side, he's busted up. It's just Captain America and Thanos. Thanos brings in everybody, and it's like, it's over, right? And then he hears, Cap, on your left.
Yeah.
And then the music starts playing and everyone pops in. The theater lost their fucking minds. The music was really great. It's a great moment. It really is a great moment. I think it'll be more appreciated every year that goes on. Tim Sim, who put in that Schmobot, is saying that the Nolan's Dark Knight is everyone's favorite, right? No, apparently not. There were some people in here who didn't think it was the best. It's in my top 3, no doubt about it. Doc Dredd 2. The more I watch The Mandalorian, the more I feel it's a demo reel. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Hotel Nerd, who put in a Schmobot. Peter Butteranis put in a Schmobot about Jim Carrey and The Mask. That is an underrated movie though. That one's supposed to be a goofy cartoon.
Yeah,
it sells itself as a goofy cartoon, and I think it works as a goofy.
It's
cartoon.
funny because I don't remember it being because I thought it was wildly popular it wasn't well received.
No, it was.
Peanut Butteranis donated $20. Christian, which movie would rather watch, Kingsman 2 or Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at least ends strong. It ends strong, and the stuff with Michael Rooker and Chris Pratt at the end is fantastic, and it's a great moment. And it's the thing I said about Guardians. it's not that the jokes aren't funny in Guardians 2. A lot of them are very funny. It's just that I just feel like they're out of place. Like everybody has a joke.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I have with that movie. As far as it still fits the same tone as the other movie, and it still tells the story to connect into a larger universe. So I like that movie better than Kingsman 2. Now, I like Kingsman 1 better than I like Guardians, and I like Guardians a lot. It's just Kingsman knocked me off my ass when I saw that movie. I loved that movie. You talk about a great score. It was just so different to me. And that church scene is just it's insanity.
I was just gonna say that I've never been like disturbed and laughed and like
you can't take your eyes off.
It was just so.
It's like a car crash.
It was ridiculous. And I mean, the way they shot that and the music play. I mean,
Freebird.
Yeah, it was just like God.
It's insane. It's insane. It was an insane choice that they.
I was watching it at home with my wife, and I'm just like. What?
You can't believe. Yeah, no, you can't believe it when it happened. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, that's what I would take that one for sure. Okay, getting back over, and we have the mask. You were asking about the mask.
Hotel Nerd donated $20.
Hey.
Favorite moment in MCU is hands down Portals.
Yeah.
Favorite moment in DC is Joker blowing up the hospital. It's best especially by knowing Ledger improved the reaction to the bomb not going off at right time. Favorite movie is Dark Knight for all the improv.
There's a lot of improv in it for sure. Did you know that in Dark Knight, you remember that scene when he's walking out with the hospital? So the bomb was supposed to go off, the explosion was supposed to go off a little earlier, and it didn't. And then his reaction is like legit because he just like because it just goes off.
That reminds there's some fun. I don't know who made it. If it was an SNL thing or whatever, but it's. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and it was all scenes of people walking away from the explosion.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that's happened. That happens quite often. But anyway, trying to get to the mask here, it did very well. It was one of the big movies. But when you talk about comic movies in general, it's not one of the movies that's brought up often because a lot of times people don't realize that it was a comic book movie, and the other time it's just like it was what 26 years ago.
So it's just not in the conversation.
It's not a conversation anymore, too.
Go watch The Mask, people.
Yeah. Well, there was rumors that they were going to do a second one. I would love to see Jim Carrey try to do that again now, 26 years later, you know? Yeah. I mean, probably still good. He's got a lot of energy to him. All right. Now, Hotel Nerd put it in a Schmobot. Suge9323. I also think Scott Pilgrim is underrated. Also, shameless plug tomorrow on the Let's Go Get Ready podcast. We will have Kate Mulligan on talking about the Schmodown, tequila, and her porn star days. Oh, perfect. Good. She probably pitched that. That's probably how she pitched, wanting to talk. So, yeah, you guys should check that out for sure because, she's probably going to be talking about her decision. She's also going to be on Backstage on Tuesday. So, yeah. There is Scott Pilgrim. I think is another one there. I mean, anytime you bring up Scott Pilgrim, people go, "Oh, I love that movie."
Yeah,
most people in this space when you say it, everyone's seen it, but then you bring it up to like just casual fans, like, "What's that?" I don't know what it is. Sammy, my all-time favorite comic book movie is the final fight scene in Endgame. From Cap getting Thor's hammer to him saying Avengers Assemble, it gives me chills.
AJ Daniels donated $20.
Thank you, AJ.
My top 5 favorite villains in comic book movies in no particular order are Ian McKellen's Magneto, Jack Nicholson's Joker, Thanos, Killmonger, and Green Goblin. Honorable mentions to General Zod from Superman 2 and Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor.
Those are villains. But as far as there's a lot of great movies inside of this, there's a lot of good moments from those villains that we can probably talk about as we break it down. Thank you so much for putting that in there. I think Michael Shannon's Zod is absolutely is underrated. I like Terrence Stamps better, but I think that he's really good as Zod. Okay, and this is Sammy who says Cap getting Thor's hammer from saying Avengers Assemble gives me chills and tears every time. So many amazing things going on. Maybe my favorite moment in any movie ever. Yeah, there's some great moments in Endgame, man, and it's like a good series finale. It's like a really good series finale of television. I know it's movies, but I'm just saying it feels like because of the connectivity.
Well, Crash, let's
go eat a hot dog. Civistat really love the Big Daddy death scene in Kick-Ass. The whole movie really established my love for Chloe Grace Moretz, and also let me forgive Nick Cage for any other movies that he's been in. Also, love Logan, Dark Knight, and Into the Spider-Verse as well. Yeah, that scene, I mean, that's very similar to what I was talking about before, was that we had these moments in Matthew Vaughn movies where he can do some comedy, some over-the-top stuff, but there's a lot of things that connect with heart. And I think that that's exactly what that scene does with Big Daddy. That's another movie that I need to revisit. I haven't seen it in quite a bit. When was the last time you saw Kick-Ass, Brett? Been a while?
A little when it came out, I think. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I saw the second one. I probably did, but I don't. But I love. Again, Kick-Ass is one of those ones that I love a comic book film or any of these superhero films that I don't know anything. Yeah. Guardians, Ant-Man, Kick-Ass,
just come out of nowhere.
The Scott Pilgrim, I mean that. It's just,
Toxic Avenger.
Oh God, you know how many times I watched Toxic Avenger? Really? Oh, VHS, dude.
Yeah, Toxic Avenger.
Oh God, that scene.
I'm surprised they haven't remade that.
Oh God, I just remember this is so disturbing. The one with the run him over. They run over that kid's head.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's horrible. Yeah, it's disturbing.
Jolt Cola.
Dagan and Hostile Dork put in Schmobots. Colin Martinez. Best theater experience was Endgame. My most memorable theater experience was seeing Iron Man on opening night when I was 6. Good God. Funniest theater experience when I saw Black Panther and coincidentally sat next to my dad's coworker, who you might know if you watch ABC World News. Oh, look at you. Throwing a little subtle name dropping. I like that. Peanut Butter Anus, who talked about Mask of the Phantasm, by the way. It's a movie that I always wanted to see that I've never seen. I know that everyone talks about that one and loves that movie. Never seen it. I know people love it. People lose their minds about it. I gotta see it. If you didn't know that, well then, joke's on you.
Now you know.
Yeah. Now you know how you're doing.
If you don't know, now you know.
Schmobots now you know. Let me know what's your favorite comic book movies of all time. Now you know. Peter Butteranis put in a Schmobot. Thank you. Adela Chambo. One of my favorite scenes is when Thanos bombs Avengers headquarters in Endgame as you see Ant-Man switch to his smaller form as he's been throwing back to save himself. I think the special effects are good and it's a cool detail to have put in there. That whole scene, because you know that they had finally done it. They accomplished what they wanted to do and like, oh, fuck. It's like the sunlight is out.
Here and we really, go again.
A really nice moment with what's his face? Hawkeye and his wife, and then here we go. Sweet move.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, exactly. All right, keep them coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. Sweet life. Keep the questions coming, or the comments. We're talking comic book movies here. Myself and Brett Sheridan.
Has anybody mentioned Avengers yet?
Not yet. Avengers or Endgame has not been mentioned yet.
Big Beck donated $20.
Let's see.
Hey, Vareen.
Hey.
As a giant comic fan, I legit cried multiple times in Endgame because there were moments I thought I would never see on the big screen. I also love Deadpool, very true to the actual come, but my fave is still Winter Soldier.
I love you all, and I'm not making fun of you. It's amazing how much impact those films had on people. I mean, it's the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah, it's the biggest movie of all time. So of course,
and you're allowed to have several favorites. I was just a technicality thing. I wasn't trying to be mean.
No, I know what you're saying.
My favorite pizza is from this place, this place, this place.
But he just mentioned Deadpool. Mm-hmm. Deadpool's another one. That when that movie came out,
another one in my I knew nothing
about Deadpool, right? See, I had known a lot about the character. I mean, plus the fact I didn't know as much about it until I was working at AMC with those, obviously with Schnepp who talked about it like crazy, and then, hearing more and more about it, what they were going to do and making it R, and then getting the fact. I mean, I knew obviously from when they had put him in that stupid ass X-Men movie and they ruined him that everybody bitched about.
That's what I was confused in the beginning because I'm like, wait, he looks familiar. Didn't I see him in a different?
Because he did. He played Deadpool in another movie, but they just ruined him. They ruined him completely. Even jokes about it in the movie.
Yeah.
But what they did with these movies, it was great.
And I love the tongue-in-cheek kind of things, like the little jabs at the X-Men that he could assemble with, or not the big name ones.
That's right. Like who they could get
Peanut
budget.
Butter Anus donated $20. Doctor Strange is personally in my top 10 MCU movies. Was a big Strange comic reader as a kid and I loved it. I take little acid every watch.
Oh.
I think of Big John Schnepp every time I watch it. I screamed when the Ancient One showed up in Endgame.
Yeah, it was pretty cool too. I like that movie. Oh, shit, Roxy hates that movie. I love that movie. I like it a lot, and I think that it was a movie to me that I saw twice, and I definitely enjoyed it the second time even more so than I did the first time because it was different, and I liked the tone of it, and I liked what they did with it. So yeah, I liked. I did like, and I thought that Benedict Cumberbatch was good. I was I didn't like a lot of the stuff that because Rachel McAdams is completely wasted in that movie. Wasted.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I do enjoy that film. All right.
I'm glad there wasn't any controversy.
Hotel Nerd donated $20. Christian, look up this video for a what the fuck moment. It's called Woman Hit with Blender at Ohio McDonald's after complaining should pop in Google search.
Woman hit with blender? Is that what it is?
Yeah, woman hit with blender at McDonald's.
Let me see. Woman hit with blender at McDonald's.
Oh, boom. It pops up right away.
There. Video. McDonald's customer hit in the face with...
I wanted to get some Happy Meals and some cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
And that was a very unhappy day for me.
Brittany Price's injuries...
let's see the actual footage. Here it is.
The drive-thru at the McDonald's on Coleraine Avenue near Ronald Reagan Highway ended inside with food she says wasn't right, flying at a manager.
Oh, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Well, now, wait a minute. She's... Not that the guy should have thrown anything at her, but she's throwing food at them. She's throwing things at them.
With food she says wasn't right, flying at a manager, and a blender hitting her in the face, shattering her cheekbone and breaking her nose.
Right, well,
I've had surgery. I've had a lot of doctor's appointments, the follow-up.
He shouldn't have thrown anything at her.
No.
But she was throwing things, I think that she could have been escorted out of there, but
have you ever been that mad about a food order?
No, I don't know what they were saying to each other or whatever too. So I have no idea. She is waiting patiently.
With 4 children in the car.
I see. So she's getting frustrated.
Their drinks to kill time.
I get it.
As she waits, other customers come and go.
Right. She's waiting a while.
I wasn't the only one that got frustrated.
Yeah.
She's waiting a while.
The video, we see a lot of people that.
I think what she did.
Ask for a refund.
Then it's
which is fair. But throwing things you shouldn't have thrown anything. She just lost her cool.
Yeah.
And then she got whacked in the head with a blender. But this is from last year.
Sheesh.
Anyway, she shouldn't have been hit in the head with a blender. So what the fuck is wrong with people? Anyway, thank you for that one.
Knee jerk.
It's a good comic book movie.
That was a good comic book.
Blender.
A lot of people didn't realize that Blender Man.
She was hit with a blender, and she became Blender Woman.
That makes me think of the Wonder Twins, that just form a bucket of water.
You've seen it all. Coming when theaters are open. Do you need a margarita? Do you need a smoothie? Blender Woman. Coming in theaters, she was a normal mother, just waiting for her Happy Meal. But the whole experience was anything but happy.
Her emotions keep spinning and spinning and spinning.
This summer, Rosario Dawson is Blender Woman.
This is my order is not right!
Here she comes. Throw her an orange, she'll turn it into a smoothie. Put a banana in there. Whatever it is, Blender Woman will fix your problems. Blender Woman. What the fuck is wrong with us?
Slenderman and Blender Woman.
Yeah.
All right, you got Blender Woman, you got Slenderman.
I got Blender Woman. It's a discount. It's a discount
Lawrence
movie.
Lease donated $20.
Movie.
No questions or jokes, but just wanted to say appreciate you all, even though you both are in cahoots.
It's true.
Thank you. We are in cahoots. Who's Blender Woman in cahoots with? All right, let's move on. So keep them coming, guys. Streamlabs.com/Schmodown. You want to interrupt? Then interrupt. That's what we talk about here. Interruption. Not
Instapot Man. That's who she's in cahoots.
Jason Payne, who put in...
Cool Face donated $20. I am a DC fanboy.
Oh.
So my favorite scene in any comic book movie is when the Joker walks out and starts dancing around and swinging his arms and he kisses the Doctor as he goes to sit by Robert De Niro's character.
Oh, yeah.
Shit was straight comic book flavor, you.
It was. I love that movie. I really do. I've seen it 3 times. I love that movie, Joker. I mean, I think it's one of those movies I think people started to think that it was cool to start to poke shots at and it's overrated. I love that movie. It was my number one.
Not at all overrated.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix was so good in it. I love that. I love that movie. Hotel Nerd, thank you for the Schmobot. Agent Ois. One of my favorite comic book movies is The Winter Soldier. It did what comics always say but never stick to. The universe will change forever.
House of Z Flirt and Floss donated $20.
Thank you, Floss.
Hey, Rari and Endgame is the new favorite, but Blade was the first to get me into comic book movies since '89 Batman. The opening scene alone was played after Maneuver Nights.
It was.
Bought Attack Peter hoodie, shirt, and poster for hashtag
cool.
Flirt and Floss autograph.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing, though, as far as the Flirt and Floss, because we'll get to this Winter Soldier thing also in just a second here. But and Blade, obviously, we talked about it in great depth, and I agree with you. Blade was the one that brought it back and got people kind of talking about it again. But the Flirt and Floss thing, if you have it, you have 13 hours to get it. But when we finally do, because my goal is when we start doing singles matches and we can do live events, I want the Warfather versus Flirt and Floss at a live event. I would love to do it in Chicago. And imagine...
Francisco Ramirez donated $20. Road to Perdition is one of my favorites, not to spoil, but that scene between Tom Hanks and Paul Newman chills. Still waiting on that Condiment King and Kite Man film.
No shit.
Right.
I gotta see.
Condiment King. That's who's up against Blender.
Yeah, right. I gotta see. That's right. That makes sense. I gotta see Road to Perdition. Road to Perdition again. It's on Netflix. I gotta watch it. But imagine if you have 13 hours to get this design, and you're rocking that when Flirt and Floss is playing you better study for Warfather. You can win.
I can do this?
You can win. You can beat the Warfather. He beat Claudia Dolph, and he shouldn't have. Claudia Dolph had it won. She had him dead to rights. She had him TKO, and she just had bad numbers.
She was beating herself up about
she
it.
Missed. She hit Aaron Eckhart. She wins the game.
Yeah.
She had him beat dead to rights. You can beat him. I happen to love Eric, who is the Warfather, and he's one of the best new characters we've had in a very long time. But I think you can beat him. I think the Flouse can take him out. But you got to know who some of these people are.
Read some books or something.
Yeah. You got to know who some of these people are. You got to know who.
Well,
directs
this has
movies.
been helpful.
It's true.
I got some movie release dates now. I'll remember.
Right. Who directed the first X-Men in 2000?
First X-Men, that would be Sam Smith.
That's good. Sam Smith, the singer, absolutely. All right, the Warfather is now 2-0, everybody. 2-0.
That's my thing, though, that as when I do watch something...
Hotel Nerd donated $20. When does Attack Peter merch ship? I ordered last Thursday and never received shipping details upon ordering anyone else having this issue.
Well, it's not an issue yet. I think that they're waiting for once this whole, once it ends, I think they're going to start shipping it out. So... don't worry about that. I think it'll come. You'll get the notification probably sooner than later. But yeah, again, 13 hours. 13 hours to get the Flirt and Flouse. The link is in the description. You got to get it.
Got to get it.
So Winter Soldier. I agree with Agent Ois because it was, I think, another one of those movies that showed that Marvel was switching up the genre a bit. Because it had like a kind of Bourne Identity, it had a spy feel to it. There was a lot that it did. And he also talked about the Hydra reveal affected MCU as a whole and even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. permanently. Truly amazing. Yeah, it was a good fix to changing things up a little bit. Big Mo movie review. He talked about Avengers Endgame and he said that it's all he wanted in a superhero. It was also the greatest theater experience that he ever had. Yep. Absolutely was a good one. Ben Rayner, hey guys, happy Friday. Top 5 moments: Binary Sunset and New Hope, Portal Scene in Endgame 3, Voldemort's Return in Goblet of Fire, painful but Charles' death in Logan, No, I Am Your Father, Empire Strikes Back, and Can You Talk Voldemort Return. I don't, but the only thing is that Star Wars wasn't really a comic book though. It became a comic book after it was a movie.
Yeah.
So, Paul Denuzio, comic book movies, The Crow, great one. Thor Ragnarok, Sin City, Endgame, Road to Perdition, The Dark Knight, Logan, and History of Violence with Ed Harris. You love Ed Harris. Yeah, The Crow was one that I had seen. The Crow, and I think I told that story when I was at St. Petersburg, and the woman who hated me, the Texas woman who she hated me because I was supposed to get this. All I needed was a certain GPA to transfer over.
Peanut Butter Anus donated $20. Even though it isn't the best comic book movie, but The Green Hornet with Seth Rogen is fun watch.
I didn't love that one.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't love that one.
It didn't get it.
I didn't love it. But anyway, this woman, she had given. Maybe I told it on either Roxy or Ben's podcast. I can't remember anymore. But it was this woman who she didn't like me, and I was basically making up my own monologues in this class, and I was getting like A's on them. I was supposed to be reading them out of books, but I was writing them myself and pretend. She wasn't doing any research on it, but she gave me like it was a shit GPA. I needed like a 2.6. I came in at 2.5, and I was like, how did the math doesn't add up? And then I was going through this, and I went to the dean or whatever, the school or wherever he was, and I said to him, I was like, I got A's on all these things. I was making up my own monologues and and doing all these things. He's like, you just told me you were making up the monologues. You can give me whatever you want. I'm like, fuck. So, but anyway, one of the reasons I kept mentioning The Crow to her over and over and over again, how great of a movie it was. She's like, stop mentioning The Crow. It's not a good movie. I was like, it is a good movie. It's awesome. No, it's not. It's just a comic book movie. It's not good. Not a classic movie. No, you don't know what a good movie is. You think you're still in the film. I know. I'm like,
you haven't seen Brander, woman, so you can't talk about film.
You know shit. You think you do, but you know shit.
Get out my face.
You dumb New York cap you have on your face and your head. Who you think you are?
Who you think you are?
Come on. Here's A+. Well, what does that mean? It means 25%. No, A+ doesn't mean 25%. It means almost 95 to 100. I just don't like you. I don't like you either. So why are you going to keep me in your fucking class? Get me out of here. No more about The Crow.
I see you. This is a thing I used to do when I was a kid. My mom called it mirror boxing or whatever. I'd sit there and I'd sit on the sink and I'd look in the mirror and I'd act out little scenes. I could see you.
That was it.
Sink, you know, why you don't get it?
My favorite scene, I love the Stone Temple Pilots. Why I'm talking about Stone Temple Pilots and The Crow? You don't got to talk about that here. We're going to talk about something else. Open up page 34. Well, but I'm telling you the scene. You just asked me for the scene. What's your favorite scene? Tell me another one. I want to tell you another one. I'll tell you about The Crow. Why keep mentioning Crow? You want to watch? You think I'm going to watch a movie like Crow?
You've run this over to your head so many times, and you're like, I should have said this.
I should have said this, and I was like, you know, I'm making my own fucking monologues. And they're like, A+. Thank you. You failed. What do you mean I failed? You just give me an A+. Stop mentioning The Crow.
Crows don't dabble.
Crows don't do anything. And I'll tell you what, Crow not going to help you pass this class. No fucking way she's going to help you. You thought it would? Well, it won't.
Oh.
It ain't going to help you this time, motherfucker. I'll tell you what, you New York pizza eating motherfucker, you.
You're a teacher saying motherfucker? I'll say whatever fucking want, motherfucker.
You got A+. You failed. A+. How did I fail at A+? You're staying. Staying what? Here. With me. Why? Forever. Because I hate you. You hate me, then why? Let me go.
You ever seen Misery? I'm going to break your fucking leg.
I'm going to hit you with a crow. You motherfucker.
You're living with me forever now, boy.
I'll tell you what.
I thought you hated me.
I thought I do. I hate looking at you every day, but I'm going to I know you make you miserable. You talk about that fucking crow just one more time. Go ahead. Say it. Say it again. Brandon Lee. Why you fucking why don't you bring up Bruce Lee? Why you got to bring up Brandon? Huh? You know why? Because he's in that fucking movie. He's in that Crow. That's why you want to do. You can bring up the Crow. Right, fine. Guess what now? A++, motherfucker. You still fail.
Say Crow again,
say
motherfucker.
It again. Come on.
What? We're doing the same.
I fucking dare you. We're doing monologues here. We're doing Death of the Salesman. You bring up the fucking Crow. How's that even make sense? Crow and what? Fucking Biff Loman. They ain't gonna come back from the dead. He ain't coming back from the dead, motherfucker. Damn Crow. Fucking Crow. Unbelievable. I'm working. I'm not even supposed to be here right now. Working this fucking job at SPJC. Come on, man.
Come on.
What the fuck? Fuck you, man.
Goddamn break.
Yeah, you pass, motherfucker. A++++. Take the Crow and your stupid ass.
You got a new character.
Come on. Bring it up again. I dare you. What's your favorite movie of all time? This motherfucker's gonna say Crow. Yeah. Nothing else, right? You think Scorsese would put his fucking hands on that one? No, he wouldn't. Stupid ass Crow.
We're talking about Kill a Mockingbird, motherfucker.
That's right. What you do? You think Atticus Finch gives a fuck about Crow? You think that's literature? That ain't literature. I'll give you literature. Here's this A+++, and you still ain't going to that college, dummy. You're gonna be here with me forever. You'll be cleaning up the fucking shitter in 3 weeks. Motherfucker. Tell you what. Dumb bastard. I asked this guy, I said, hey, what's your favorite book all time? This fucking guy says Crow. I said, I'm not gonna see that movie. I'm better than that. I don't know what happened to that lady. This is a lady, yeah. Yeah, she didn't like me very much.
All right, we're going to talk about Gone with the Wind. Manny, motherfucker! Bring up the Crow!
Come on, bring it up. I dare you. I'll fucking tie your shoes and push you down the stairs.
Hitchcock the birds. Now I know what you're going to say, motherfucker. Your favorite bird was the crow and that one, isn't it?
Come on. I dare you. Guess what? Your friend who's sitting right next to you, he dumber than shit. I gave him a monologue. He just fell asleep. I gave him a real A. He did way worse than you did. He's going to Harvard now, bitch. You know where you're going? You're gonna break down your car and you're gonna get me some fucking Crystal Burgers. Bring them to my house. You dick. All right, moving on.
20 minutes?
Francisco Ramirez donated $20. Can we hear about Redneck Crow's favorite comic book movie?
Yeah, I'll give you your favorite comic movie. Damn. Fucking best movie I ever saw was a movie where someone wiped their ass with a comic movie, you dumb motherfuckers. All you care about. Oh, what's coming out now? Endgame this, Endgame that. I'll give you a fucking Endgame when they stop taking movies in the theaters and they put real movies in there. Oh, shit. You got Ben Goddard saying silence is trash. Fuck you, motherfucker. You think you know what a movie is with your dumb haircut? I'll shave your fucking face.
This class is Professor Strange.
Big Mo Movie Review donated $20. So I did a MCU marathon with my mom last year before Endgame. She never watched any of them. Seeing her be truly excited about these films, even the bad ones, made me appreciate them more. By the way, Harlov, is that the new impression? LOL.
I don't know where. I mean, it's been sitting in the
Hotel
it's been
Nerd
sitting in the
donated
chamber
$20.
for a long time.
Can we get Southern Christian the Crow voice trying to explain National Treasure to drunk Anaconda brats?
Yeah, give me a second.
Drunk Anaconda.
Yeah, I gotta take a break. I gotta take a break. I'll bring it back in a second. But we'll call her Professor Crow. We'll call her Professor Crow.
Professor Crow.
Professor Crow is her name.
Oh, I gotta take a break.
I'll shave your face. So that's her name. Let's get to some. I want to get to some of these Streamlabs because we only about a half an hour now. So, if Star Wars is considered a comic book movie with their comics, if so, that's my favorite. I don't think it is. Superman is my favorite comic book character. My favorite moment, but not movie by any means, is Superman in Justice League. Him surprisingly stopping Flash with his speed in a fight. Yeah, it's pretty awesome too. That's a good one. Peanut Butter Anus. When Schmobot talked about the Kingsman, Bruce Leroy. Hey, another great conversation I'm looking forward to is Monday to hear about all the moves. Yes, that's right, all the moves that are going to happen with free agents. My favorite comic book has to be A History of Violence, starring Viggo Mortensen and William Hurt in an Oscar-nominated performance. Yeah,
Did not know that was coming.
Yeah, Professor Crow. People like Professor Crow. Yeah, so poor Ben, he's got to piece that thing out. Bruce Leroy. Hey, another great conversation. I'm looking forward. Oh, we did that already. Sorry. Yep. Douglas Johnson, who put in a Schmobot, so did Big Mo. Talks about Dread and Snowpiercer. People don't realize that they are comic book films. By the way, Harloff, I'm very excited about your 101 show. That's right. So just real quick, guys. Once again, if you didn't know, hopefully today, I'm definitely recording it today. But if not, if it doesn't air today, it'll be up tomorrow. It's myself 101 coming back with director Josh Trank. That'll be on this channel, and it'll also be on the SEN Live podcast stream. So for everybody who didn't know or who are tuned in late, please go ahead and check that out. Are you gonna bring up the Crow? And guess what? I'm sure you're gonna bring up. Hey, I guess what happened with Fantastic Four, because that's all you ask about. Man's a filmmaker. Gonna make other stuff, talking about Capone and stuff he did, but no, you ain't gonna bring that up, are you? So, Star Wars, what happened to Star Wars? That's all you care about. Why don't you go live on Tatooine, you dumb motherfucker? You crows running around out there, do they? No, you ain't gonna bring that up.
There ain't one damn crow in any of them.
Nah, you ain't gonna bring that up. You're gonna say, hey, you made a movie about greatest gangster in history, and you're gonna ask him about a man stretches his arms. You dumb motherfucker.
I love the scene where Dean, like, this is like the worst professor
ever. She's like what is it? The fucking Whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But worse.
Yeah. Crazy.
Was this like it's a community college too or something?
It was, yeah. I went there for like, it was like a semester.
Just trying to get a few credits in there.
Yeah, it's a Professor Crow curses a lot.
She does.
Yeah.
She does.
What you want to learn about Bobo Fett for?
Bobo Fett.
Come on, Bobo Fett. You can go talk to my cousin Bobo. He tell you stupid.
Yeah. Boba Fett. I want to talk about Boo Radley. Motherfucker.
This is an intelligent class where we talk about things that matter. Dummy. All right. Douglas Johnson.
Hey, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. Hey, Doug. No, but Big Mo also brought in Dread and Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer isn't talked enough about.
I couldn't get through the review. Remember, that's when I was making all the. It was choo-choo, confusing. Yeah. I don't know what I didn't. It didn't hit me because there was something. There's too much confusion with me as why they kept the poor people around because they weren't doing any work.
Yeah, there's gonna be a TV show. I think now. You wanna watch that?
I'll give it a try. Yeah, maybe they'll explain more. But I was just like, why do you even keep the poor people?
Dread, I talk to all the time about all the time. I love Dread.
It's really been a while for that one.
Prince I Wasn't Promised. Kevin Spacey compared his not being able to get to work for what. Kevin Spacey compared his not being able to get to work for what he did to people being out of work due to COVID. Somebody needs to read the fucking room. No shit. Jake Berlin. Hey, guys. So psyched that 101's coming back. It was one of my favorite things going. Harloff, I'd like to get any feedback from you on our Schmodown show, A Certain Point of View. We just had Smets and Gilmore on for Back to the Future, and it was a blast. Thanks, guys. We'll have to check it out. I don't know if I've seen it yet. I'm not sure if I've seen it yet. Andrew DeMolanta, sorry for all the swearing on Beyond the Schmodown. Nikki and I will clean it up so you can start listening again. Yeah, it wasn't just you though, Andrew. There's a couple other podcasts also that were doing it because I know that you guys had. I mean, because again, like you said, I listened to the one episode and that was where I was coming back. You know what's funny? When I mentioned I went to Taco Bell, I was listening to their show and they said like, hey, we're going to try to clean it up, but hey, that's the show. That's what we do. And I was like, fair, because I've been there before, but I just wasn't able to listen to it anymore because if I had my daughter with me, I was like, I got to change it.
Oh, you can't have Professor Crow on there.
No way.
No.
What? The Schmodown? Was that a dance? Wait a minute. You're going to tell me you're going to combine the art of wrestling and put it with movie trivia? What are you, fucking stupid? Come on. Wait a minute. Who? The Outlaw? You would tell me this man with a hat who says something about a predator and that man's supposed to be a champion? Champion? Man, come on. And then you got some man here jumping up like a damn buffoon giving a middle finger to an angel on damn Merle? What? What are you doing here? This is dumb.
I just left my backpack.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You don't tell me about backpacks. I'll tune into your show. You got a damn grown man shaving his head, a little tough, call himself left and flying flouse. This man pretending to be German. My daddy was German. There's no stupidity like a damn fool with your dumb music. Grown ass man. Come on.
Yeah, you guys wanted to be on your podcast? You have to have Professor Crow be the guest.
Professor
you
Crow,
don't get Christian.
You don't get me anymore. Professor Crow is going to be on everyone's show now. And now joining us on Turner Beyond Movies, Professor Crow. It's about time we talk about some fucking classics. Every now and then, everywhere you go. Star Wars, movie about a fucking guy with a painted face, jumping around, dancing downstairs with sports music. And then you got Endgame, purple guy with a fucking bull face saying, oh, I'm going to snap my fingers. I'm going to snap my fingers. The whole genre's going to be gone. God damn it. Oh, God.
Good stuff.
It's so good. Good stuff. Oh. All right, everybody.
What do we do?
Uh-oh. Don't read that.
Okay. I'm not reading anything right now. This is you put me on the.
I have some really big news that's going to break on Monday. There's a free agent that was just signed.
Oh.
Hold on.
Is it
or
Professor Crow?
No, it's not Professor Crow.
Damn it.
But this is big. This is. I will tell you that a free agent was just signed that is going to strike as much of a story that the Irwin trade did. So that's big. Okay. Let's get into Tom Woodford, minus V for Vendetta, which is a great one.
Oh, yeah.
The line people should be afraid of their government. Government should be afraid of the people. Gives me chills every time. Hugo Weaving is amazing in that role. Yeah, it was James Purfoy for a bit, and then it changed to Hugo Weaving. Memo from MX. The favorite comic book movie for me, any MTS fan should be The Spirit. Just kidding. That movie is dumb. Also, Captain America MCU films, all three of them are great, and my favorites is a whole story. Yeah, they blend together. D-Train, Sophie's Choice, better movie, Logan or Spider-Verse? I gotta go Logan, but I love Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse might be the best Star Wars movie ever. D-Train, Sophie's Choice. We just did that one.
Best Star Wars movie ever. I think you just.
No, he didn't.
No,
I did. I did that. I said best Star Wars movie. You dumb idiot! You talking about? I hate comic book movies. I hate them. But I'll tell you what. I know Spider-Man ain't fucking swinging around on Coruscant. He in New York, you dumb motherfucker. I know that for a fact. I was walking around looking. I said, look at that guy. Just swung by a pizza place. Didn't even give himself a slice. He that fast. He can one by. Just swoop out the motherfucker with his web, and he doesn't do it. And you're thinking he's doing it with Jawas? You stupid bastard.
Go cry to your mama. I'm your mama now, boy.
You don't know who or what or has been, who's been or what's not. But I'll tell you what, dumb dick. You ain't coming in this class anymore. Maybe you will. Rest of your life. It's like a jail cell to you. Oh, yeah. Because you stupid.
I own you now, boy.
I got you. I got you. Second, you walked into this class. You could have been good. Yeah, you could have been great. But you know what I say to you? I said, hey, let's go AFI top 100. You said Crow as number one. You my number one enemy now, bitch. Oh, God.
Well, they didn't read any of my questions today.
No, because they were talking about fucking Professor Crow for 45 minutes. Andrew G. The best comic book movie ever is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's no debate with this. It is a solid adaptation of the original comic book with scenes ripped right off the pages. It still holds up. It's the best. It's a good one. It's a real good one. Yeah.
Heroes with a half shell.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't think I remember that one. It's sad to say.
Hold on a second. Sorry.
I'm going to create my list while you're doing
Big
this.
Mo Movie Review donated
Perfect. Thank you, Big Mo.
$20. Imagine Professor Crow and Ben from Ozark were a couple. Nightmare fueled low.
Oh, so good.
She's
so good. She's great.
She's an end. She could show up in Ozark.
I never realized what that she was there.
Just hiding.
She was hiding in my head. It was very damaging, by the way. Because,
I bet.
Because at the time, like, my ex-girlfriend was going to the University of Georgia. I just needed that, like, half a point.
Yeah.
And then I'm in. Guess what?
Peanut butter.
You're gonna have a new girlfriend.
$20.
It's gonna be my
Can
foot.
we get Professor Crow as J. Jonah Jameson telling Peter Parker that he hasn't gotten pictures of Spider-Man?
What the fuck is this? I'll pay you $33 every 2 weeks, and you come in here with pictures of what? Bullshit. And I think you don't think I'm not stupid, dummy. I know what you're doing out there. You fucking running around, and you let me think. You're maybe 145 pounds soaking wet with boots on, and yet you're chiseled like Stallone and Rocky IV. Fuck you, motherfucker. You're Spider-Man. So do me a favor. Go to your mirror, put on the goddamn mask, take a picture, put it in your fucking digital camera, and let's get some ratings in this motherfucker. Because guess what? Everyone's just tuning into their internet. Nobody buys a paper anymore, but yet they want to see you. They want to see Spider-Man. So guess what? Start taking pictures of Spider-Man, you dumb dick.
Dumb dick.
Professor Crow. Wonder if she's still alive.
Oh,
who knows?
Not if she yelled like that all the time.
No, she didn't. She did not
dick.
She did not like when I talked about the crow. She did not like it.
Dumb dick.
I'm telling you, man. That part is very true. She was. Stop bringing up the crow. I remember raising my hand one time after I've done it, and I'm not gonna lie, I definitely did. I turned to my buddy Mike and I go, I swear to God, if you bring up the crow, this is what she said. I swear to God, you bring up the crow.
Poking the bear with the stick.
That's right. Oh God. Fucking Professor Crow. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So yeah,
it's a good. It was a good one, man. I watched it not too long ago. It's a Casey Shamasco, not Casey Shamasco. Elias Koteas says Casey. It was underrated performance. JOH2. While the movie was fine but had problems, the first teaser trailer for Avengers: Age of Ultron, aka the Strings. Yeah, Strings. I love that. It was my favorite teaser of any time. James Spader's menace and the Pinocchio riff hinted at a tone we just didn't get. Yeah, I was expecting what we got with Thanos. I think I was expecting from Ultron. I was expecting that kind of menace, but we never really got it. Hotel Nerd, who put in a Schmobot. Thank you, Hotel, as always. Hotel's one of our biggest supporters, and I can't thank him enough. He's awesome. Michael Rhett Dingus, favorite comic book movies, though: The Death of Superman, All-Star Superman, Batman Under the Red Hood, Into the Spider-Verse, all animated. Live action is The Watchmen, Superman, Blade, and The Mask. Superman 2 is still one of my favorite all time, with Zod and the whole crew. Yeah. AJ Daniels, top 5 favorite villains he put in there. Thank you. Storm Shadow rocks. Yes, he does. First favorite is Superman 2. Oh, look at that. There we go. On a recent rewatch, my favorite moment is when Kent gets beat up in the diner. His realization that he's not Superman anymore is some fine acting by Reeves. More recent, Thor Ragnarok, seeing Surtur on screen destroying Asgard. Yay. Yeah, it's good ones. These are good ones. I mean, because I put in a lot of stuff, and we have. I want to get to that was Storm Shadow Rock. So I want to go over to Super Chat. I want to go over to Super Chat.
Let's pop over there.
Got to go over there, Brett, because I don't want Super Chat to be left out. They felt left out last week, and I'm not about it. Okay.
We see you.
PRL 18. Wonder Woman, Spider-Verse, Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2. I'm giving Professor Crow a rest, so I'm not going to take suggestions for Professor Crow right now. PRL 18, Wonder Woman, Spider-Verse, Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2. Those are good ones. Nate Drake. Hey, Christian, what is your reaction to RB3's epic attack on Rocky IV? He completely eviscerated that movie yesterday. What did he say about it? I heard that he shit all over it.
He said it was basically the music video.
I don't disagree with him.
And yeah.
I don't think it's dumb because I think the fight is awesome. That's why I think Rocky V is a shit movie. If Rocky V ends in the ring, it's a much better movie. Yeah. If the Rocky V actually, we were wrong about the brain reversal. Rocky's okay. Rocky can fight for the title against Tommy Machine Gun, and then it ends in the ring with a fucking epic fight. It's good. The training montage and the actual fight and it's an hour and 25 minutes or something. It's not very detailed, but I don't. It's not revered to me the way it is to like Ellis. But it's to me 1, 2, and 3 are the best. I like Rocky IV. I do. I like it. But it's a complete popcorn version of Rocky.
I could see going back, being younger, and not seeing it when it came out. Thinking
is that it? Did he not see it?
I'm sure. I mean, he wasn't alive when that came out, wasn't he?
No. He was born like 14 years later.
Yeah. So I think
that's right.
Yeah, again, and it was a time where I think we were more forgiving to schlockiness and we just wanted to have fun back then.
Right, that's right. So, what's the next one? Ryan C. Does Unbreakable count? Love that movie. Tough because it's kind of a play off of comic books more than it is based on an actual comic book.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay, I didn't know that.
No, it's his own original. Andrew G. Try and pry some Boba Fett pitch deets out of him. At a Josh Trank, they're talking. I'm going to have a conversation with him, and we'll like I told you, when I had a conversation with him off the record, just on the phone, we spoke for like 2 days, 2 hours apiece. He's just an easy guy to talk to and a lot of fun. So I don't know what we're going to talk about, where it's going to go, but I'm excited to do it. That's always been the fun of one-on-one for me, is that I'll have... With him, I really know a lot of things I want to ask him and what I want to talk to him about. So it's not really going to be like a whole bunch of notes and things of that nature. It's just going to be a conversation. That's kind of the beauty of one-on-one and why I love doing it. But I'll bring it up. Dragon R3 Born. Dolph's Punisher holds a special place in my heart. I watched that VHS too many times to count as a kid. I did too. It's a crazy movie. It is a crazy movie. BGL88. Hey, shitwads. First time, long time. Favorite comic book movie to me is Logan. And the best scene is when he takes the serum and has his berserker rage and fights with his daughter. It's awesome. Thank you guys for everything. Farts. Yeah. Thank you. That movie is awesome. And I think most people that see it, and it's also, to me, it's one of those movies that just cements Mangold. Mangold is like an all-star director. I think it's the first one for everybody to go, whoa, who's that guy? Wait a minute, Mangold, because he had done stuff obviously before, and even the previous Wolverine movie. But that movie isn't like a whole other level in filmmaking and storytelling. And then he does Ford versus Ferrari, and I'm like, all right, now I get excited about his movies the way I do for like Matthew Vaughn and Nolan and Tarantino. Like when Mangold has a movie now, okay, it's a new Mangold movie. What is it? I don't give a shit. It could be about the Crow.
I'll watch it.
Wait a minute. So yeah. That's a good one. Patrick Marin. The most overlooked comic book movie is Road to Perdition. It's a great film, stellar performances, strong direction from Sam Mendes, and a fantastic score by my favorite composer, Thomas Newman. I got to revisit it. You guys just sold me again because my wife and I brought that up the other day, and we were going to watch it, and then we wound up watching Minority Report instead.
Oh, that's right.
So I think I'm going to watch that because there's been a lot of mention on that today from you guys. Dragon R3 Born. The Losers has a great cast, and some might not know it's a comic film. Go Margolis, yeah. Shia LaMusic. Tank Girl is a great comic book movie with a dope aesthetic. Yep.
Tank Girl.
Yep. Ian loves movies. Dark Knight and the first Spider-Man are my top comic book movies for sure. I also love Snowpiercer. It's a good thrill. It's a great thrill ride. A lot of Dark Knight, Spider-Man love for sure. Gabriel Lopez, The Crow is one of my favorite comic book movies ever. R.I.P. Brandon Lee. I also love the Deadpool films. I don't think that this is probably before Professor Crow came in. Kate Van D, All Hail King Killmonger. Black Panther is my number one. He was really good in that movie, man, Michael B. Jordan. really, really good in it. And it's one of the best. It was funny because there was such a lack in comic book villains for a long time, and then Michael Keaton, you had a span that hit because there was always that complaint in Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. The villains weren't good enough. Like Loki was really good, but then Loki kind of had like a babyface turn and went from being a heel to a good guy. And so you're like, okay, well, who's the bad guy? And then all these other bad guys start coming in, like, and we just mentioned Ultron, underwhelming. That person's underwhelming. And then Killmonger hits, like, oh, we found somebody. And then Keaton's villain hits, like, oh, there's another one. And then Thanos is like, yeah, move over, guys.
Yeah.
And Thanos is like the best villain in comic book history. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for that conversation because there's more. Okay. Now, what's the next one we have? We have Big Mo over on Super Chat also. I love Men in Black, and yeah, it is a comic book film. Yes, it is. Good call. Dan Hale. How about a little love for a classic comic book movie, 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It still holds up. Second one is fun, too, but silly. I think that's also a generational thing, but I do love the first one. I remember seeing the first one and loving it, and it still holds up. I agree with you. Ray Riddle, Saga the comic book series needs to be adapted. I don't know enough about it. I know it, but I don't know enough about it. Ray Riddle, watching The Dark Knight in IMAX, it was an experience. It sure was. I saw it.
Hotel Nerd donated $20. We need an Attack Peter design of Professor Crow.
Maybe. I gotta see if Peter listened today. If Peter listened today, maybe he can come up with something. I really I could tell you exactly how I'd want her to look too. She fuck you up.
Oh yeah.
She fuck you up. She had like big ham hocks.
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, okay, test me, boy. Come on. I might be wearing a dress, but I'll choke you with it.
Somebody in a desk shivering.
Yeah, shaking. She's screaming with her eyes, like fire's coming out of her mouth, and like the windows are breaking in the background, and kids are hiding under the desks. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then there's a crow that just flies through, and I'm standing there like fucking Brandon Lee. That's good. All right, let's get to Concord 327. Look up Lady Stormtrooper costume in Canada arrest. I saw that. I didn't. So what happens really? Like they throw her to the floor in a storm on May the 4th. Someone sent it to me. I didn't really know what was going on. Ryan C. This bit sounds like my family reunions. Shia LaMusic. Does American Splendor with Paul Giamatti count? I mean, if it was a comic book, I guess it does. Big Mo's movie review. Man of Steel is underrated. I think so. Let's see. Dragon R3 Born. Here you go. And Man of Steel is underrated, by the way. I always I know it's been a debate for years. I've talked about it. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite DC movie. It's up there. I mean, not including Dark Knight, DCEU, or whatever it's called now. No mentions of Arnie as Conan. That's right. That's right. Arnie as Conan. Thank you. Hey, listen. Before you were screaming and yelling about Professor Crow, I was your favorite person to talk about, and guess what I do? I take a sword and punch camels. You did not know this. In the movie that I was in the first Conan, they said, hey, you're going to walk and you're going to talk and then you're going to punch. And I said, who am I going to punch? And they said, that guy. And I said, no, I will not punch him. I punch him later. I'm going to punch him. He said, that's a camel. I said, exactly. He said, he wants to spit at me. I punch him. And then we brought it back in the next one. It was a stupid bit. I said, sorry about last time, and he spit on me. So I punched him again. I hit him. Do you remember that? He knocks out the camel in the first movie, and they bring it back in what I think it was, I forget, in the second movie, which is terrible. And the camel's there again. And he's like, I'm sorry about that, and spits on him or does something. And he fucking hits it again, knocks it out. He knocks the camel out twice.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just looked up American Splendor because I thought
this
is
it
what
comic?
it was. It was a movie about a comic book.
Oh, no. It doesn't.
Harvey Pecker
no.
was his name?
No, it's got to be about. It's got to be based off comics. Joel Ralston. My favorite comic book film is the Donner's cut of Superman 2. Yeah, true. The mythology he creates sets it apart from other iterations. I respect it. I wonder what the Justice League of America looks like in that world. No shit. That would have been awesome. Breaking, the Mangold's The Crow, starring the Flirts of Flirts and Flaus. Yep, that's right.
Oh, of course.
Bring up the flirt. I'm good. Okay. What's next? What is next? Is that? I want to double check that we have that I hit all the super chats because I believe that we did. Some guy online, Crow Crow changed from a mad professor into Snyder in drag. Big Bo, no, we did that already. Okay, that's everything on Super Chat. So now I got to get back on over to Streamlabs.
Hop on over.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, with Streamlabs, please get on over there, streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. If you want to interrupt the show, you still have about 9 minutes to do it, so please do it. Cody Allen, as someone from rural North Florida, I got to say Christian's accent is perfect. Thank you. I lived there long enough. I hope so. I mean, I dealt with a lot of people like that, for sure. So hopefully, it just
dumb dick.
You dumb dick. Come on. Did we get that one? No, there are some more. No. We did that. All right, let's get back and over to streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. This is from Big Beck, who put in a Schmobot thank you. So did Peanut Butter Anus, Hotel Nerd, Meanie Miny Mo, alongside most of the Marvel movies, the X-Men, and almost every other movie mentioned until now. One of my favorite comic book movies of all time is BVS. I don't care how many people shit on it. It remains one of my most emotional movies for me. That is one of my favorite comments we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I don't care how many people shit on it, nor should you, sir.
No.
You should
like
what you like, and no one should tell you shit. Guess what? You like The Crow? Good.
No
you
one
talk
should
about it in class, you should talk about as much as you want.
You talk about it every second
Everywhere.
of the day.
That's right. Thank you to Lawrence Leese, who put in a Schmobot. Cool Face. House of the Flirt and Flouse put in one. Francisco Ramirez talked about Road to Perdition, obviously. Civistat, off topic, but I left the Streamlab after the show Wednesday for you to see, and it got missed since you weren't there on Thursday. I'm not mad. I just wanted to share my love for Rick and Morty since I didn't get to watch live. I watched the pilot last night. I turned it off after like 10 minutes.
Really?
I just didn't know if maybe I wasn't in the mood. It just because.
You got to give it a couple.
I probably have to give it a couple because is it a continuous thread or is it just like every episode is different?
Every episode is different. I think there's kind of a thread through some of them.
Doc's hammered all the time.
But
Rick is.
Yeah.
I got to watch it more.
You got to give it because I don't think we immediately loved it, but I don't think it's going to take you long to get it.
It wasn't that it was honestly I was going to listen to a podcast the guys over at Let's Get Ready should be happy because it was either I'm going to watch Rick and Morty or I'm going to finish listening to this episode.
Hey.
So I started watching Rick and Morty. I was like 10 minutes in and I'm like, I want to see what they're saying about the trade.
Yeah.
So I started listening to that. Because the trade was too big of it.
Give it some time.
Although this text that I got, it's going to blow the roof off the place on Monday. It is going to blow the roof off the place. This is the biggest.
And we're going to need more super chats because we're going to have to buy a new roof.
That's right. This news that I just got about free agent and what faction this person's going to is going to blow the roof off the place. It's big if it goes down. So I have to see. I have to talk to the free agent to see if they are indeed interested and want to do it, because I've spoken to this person a handful of times, and we'll find out. We'll find almost a little slippy slips. Little slippy slips.
Almost a little slippy slips. Hey, slippy slips.
Little
little slips and shits.
Don't slip
Oh! What are you doing? Well, I was going to have a little, reveal and say little slips. Little slippies. Slippy slippies. Slippy dippy doo.
Why did I'm not mad, Christian. You said slippy dippy doo for about 15 minutes and you didn't get to my question.
Slippity dee.
All right, everybody. Let's go to
Big
the next.
Mo Movie Review donated $20. Please give Rick and Morty a shot because it's one of the best animated comedy shows of the last decade, in my opinion.
Right.
It gets way more funnier as it goes on, too.
Slippity dee. Dragon R3 Born. # roof fund. Thank you. All right, I got to get back here. I got to finish these things. Thank you to me. Lawrence Leese, Cool Face, Houses of Flirt, and Francisco Ramirez Civistat, who said, who put in that last one, got us talking about Rick and Morty. Hotel Nerd, Peanut Butter Aidis, Coney Ellen, Francisco Ramirez, Big Mo, Hotel Nerd, all put in Schmobots. The Green Flamingo. Oh, wait, you know what? Big Mo says, I did an MCU marathon with my mom last year. She never watched any of them. Seeing her truly excited about these films, even the bad ones, made me appreciate them more. By the way, Harlow, is that the new impression? Yeah, it seems like it.
Yep.
But as far, that's good that your mom did that. Yeah, it's good that your mom did that that marathon. That's all. Or you did that marathon and she watched that one. It's cool. Okay, so let's go to Green Flamingo.
The Green Flamingo says, "Hola, como estás, amigo? I fell off a ladder into a tiger cage, but Joe Exotic saved me and kissed my teeth. I saw Tupac at a Circle K, and he got a hot dog at Relish. His ears were saggy. One of my legs is longer than the other one. Thank you. Please do not cut me off."
Tin Flows and DJ Froby wishing John Jacob Lacovette a happy birthday.
Yes.
Jake is a true homie and has such a big heart, but hey, I don't know.
No.
Rip is.
Yes, we will do that in just a moment here. Salad von Bako, I liked V for Vendetta, as did I.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Red Dingus, Bubba Fett, you talking about that little shit down the road, keep running around talking crow? Nothing holds it tight to the greatest movie of all time, The Dukes of Hazzard. By God, that crow is one of the devil-worshipping movies. Big Bum Movie Review, Peanut Butter Anus put in Schmobots, thank you. Let's see, Salad von Bako. I really hope someone does an animation for Professor Crow. She is now absolutely my favorite character that you do. I'm crying, laughing tears every time you do that. I love it. Andrew G, what do you want to see for the next animated Star Wars series? Rebels 2? Something new? Post Return of the Jedi? I'd like to see an anthology of different animated shorts across the timeline. Tales of the Jedi, if you will. I'm curious what they're going to do with animation. Because the reason is, with Filoni now so tied up in live action TV, plus the fact there wasn't any live action TV, so maybe it takes a back seat. I'm not sure. Hotel Nerd, we need an Attack Peter design of Professor Crow. Mm-hmm. Michael Rettingus, now listen here, boy, you keep running around here talking about the Crow and go off to that big city studying movies where you should be worried about getting a job digging coal. Get your head out of your ass, boy. Maybe if you talk about real cinema and not comic books. That's right, Professor Crow. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me getting a phone call. Hold on a second. Yeah, I want to make sure that someone's calling me, and I want to let them know that I am on the air. All right. There's a lot of stuff. These managers are going nuts. Now I want to go back on over to streamlabs.com/the Schmodown. Michael Red Dingus. I either need glasses or a new phone. Bunnies was supposed to be ass in last one.
Yep.
Damn Android keyboard. Love new character. Reminds me of half of my old teachers in West Virginia. Cops thought girl in stormtrooper outfit gun was real. What? Pulls guns, handcuffs on her. Idiots. Your favorite postman. My favorite comic book movie was Blunt Man and Chronic. Jason Biggs and James Vanderbeek were now my favorite choices, but they were hot at the time. Great movie, though. Give it a chance if you haven't seen it. Blunt Man and Chronic. Good call. I like what you did there. Michael Red Dingus, damn it. It changed again. It was supposed to be S. Big Mo with a Schmobot. PC, Schmobot. Michael Red Dingus, KK, note to self. If you type cuss words, Streamlabs will change it to something super random. At least mine, I tried to type ass 3 times. Well, there you go. I think that's everything over here. We do have Joel Ralston. Follow up to my Superman 2 comment. Could you imagine a Justice League of America series that's a period piece like Darwin Cookie's Justice League America New Frontier? It might open a new universe like the MCU. That's my elevator pitch. Well, I like it. I like what you're doing here, and I like everything in general of what you're doing here. So thank you guys for joining us. And before we leave, though, this is, there's almost 800 people, and Professor Crow didn't get you guys to at least 600 comments. Come on, that's bullshit. All right, everybody. How you doing? We're looking to get 500 to close out today. 500 likes. That's all we need here. We just need 500 likes. We're at 384.
Hey, we got a new auctioneer coming in today. Her name is Professor Crow.
All right, you dumb motherfuckers. You gonna tell me that you're sitting here laughing about everything I'm doing, watching my motherfucking Payne, and yet you're just sitting there with your fingers tied to your ass house? Bullshit, you dumb dicks. I'll tell you what you gotta do. Hit that motherfucking button now. You clicked and smashed that like you show me if you want me to come back, because if not, I ain't coming back here for under 500 likes, I'll tell you that. No! You motherfuckers, you're 335, 435. Bullshit. Click it. Get me to 500. Get me to 500. I dare you to get me a 500. What you gonna talk about next? 446? You just sitting there listening to my voice? What do you think I am? You think I'm just gonna sit here for the rest of my life making you motherfucker? Hit it. Put your fucking balls on it if you got it. Slap it down, push it around, do whatever you gotta do. But I ain't sitting there for no motherfucking 451 likes. Come on. I'll tell you, I'm gonna be watching cinema like that fucking bird ain't when I get home. I'll be watching film noir. I ain't gonna be watching anything else. What you gonna be watching? I'm sure I know what you're gonna watch. You're gonna watch somebody with a mask on their face with a cape, grown man pretending he's saving crime. 459, you fucking motherfucker. 460. I'm at 460 right now, and you guys ain't doing shit. Get on it. What? This dumb motherfucker talking about Christian, not talking about cursing. I said on Schmodown, motherfucker. I ain't talking about SEN. Why don't you pay attention? Stop falling asleep in class, you motherfucker. Wrecker R, I'll tell you. You think you somebody special? You ain't special. You special. I'll tell you how you special. You're special in a way that I get arrested for not being politically correct. That's how I'm special. I'm special because I tell it how it is. You gonna bring up a crow? Oh, all right. You wanna bring up a crow? Hit that motherfucking button, man. It's 474. You think I gotta do this here the rest of my life? Come on. Come on. Oh my God. I don't know. You're damn right my kids and Harlow's kids ain't watching this shit either. I wouldn't let them. They're fucking, it's like eating candy. It's like eating candy. I want them to digest good shit. I want them to watch something about cinema, like I said, a la fucking birdie. 480. Let's get to 500. Get it done. You want to fight? Let's fight, motherfucker. 484. The music ended, and you still ain't hit 500. We're at 466, 486. Get me to it. What you got? What you gonna do? How you gonna do it? Go. Come on. 488, 488. I'm just gonna end this stream right now if you don't do it. I'm getting exhausted.
I'm exhausted. Listen.
No, I can't do it. Come on. 488. You guys suck. Get the 500, will you? Or do it later. Someone said we're not liking because we don't want it to end. Yeah. Well, get it to 500 now.
Yeah.
All right, listen. That's the show.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us today. I'd like to thank our guest, Professor Crow. But I also, once again, that's that thing. You get about 12 hours, guys. 12 hours.
Yeah.
To get that, it's going to be gone. Links in the description. And then, hopefully, a little later on today, if not today, tomorrow, my one-on-one interview with director Josh Trank. Excited about it. Hope you're excited about it. So that's it. Hope you had a good conversation today. I did. Thank you to this guy, Brett Sheridan.
Get on that 10 plus Patreon.
That's right. Go to the Patreon today, patreon.com/SEN Live. Brett Sheridan, Kate Mulligan. They're doing their show. It's been a lot of fun. Fans that have been watching are really great feedback on it. You guys should check it out today.
Doing a workout with Mark Ellis today.
Oh, yeah. Mark Ellis is on the show. So make sure Mark Ellis is going to be on the show today. Go and join that. It's the $10 level on Patreon. Thank you guys very much. I really wanted to say thank you for the entire week. I hope you had a good week. I had a good week. It was a lot of fun. We'll have a good weekend. Remember, join the Facebook group on Schmodown. A lot of big news happening, and we're going to announce the free agents on Monday. So, thanks, guys. Here, let me show you that bad boy one more time. Take you out on that. Get it, guys. I'm telling you, don't miss it.